is a major deal. No messing around. But just as the tension hits its peak, a sudden deep rumble shakes the ground beneath them. More of them pour through the cracks, roaring as they fully emerge. Panic explodes through the crowd. Everyone screams it's an outbreak and bolts for their lives. Heavy footsteps thud behind them, and all our heroes hears is one desperate command: run. Is crying on the ground, reaching for their mother. Our man rushes over, drops to his knee, and offers a steady hand to comfort the kid. Just as he scoops the child up, something worse looms in the shadows. 3 snarling, drooling creatures step into the light, and a cold voice whispers that it's already too late. A woman with fiery red hair steps forward, her voice calm and certain. She tells the terrified people they're safe now. Her sword ignites with a glowing light, and beside her, our guy's blade does the same. These two, they're called the Awakened. He looks surprised and a little flustered. Whatever power just lit up his weapon, even he didn't see it coming. But there's no time to question it. He slides into a stance, raises his palms, and fire rips through the air. Flash after flash explodes from him. Kaboom, 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 each blast tearing into the nightmare around him. Steel clashes with steel as an enchanted weapon buzzes to life. The ground beneath them starts to crumble. Our boy just tapped into something massive. And whatever comes next, this fight is only getting started. But what's waiting for him inside those towers? They say a godlike being called Deus lives deep within them. The authorities have locked the place down tight, but that won't stop what's coming. The Lone Spellcaster complex sits under a wide open sky. The building just stands there, silent and unassuming. But our hero is about to wake up to a brand new reality. Frustration etches itself across the man's face against a crimson backdrop. Something inside him shifts. He feels the weight of what just happened, pressing down on his skull. Is into thin air, full control over the awakened body, and all its skills snaps right back to its original state. Our boy breathes again, but the confusion is just beginning. Not even a minute ago, a goblin was about to turn him into a bloody smear on the ground. The monster loomed overhead, drool dripping down its jagged teeth. He felt death's cold breath on his neck. Round, half expecting the beast to still be standing there, but the goblin is gone. Where did it even go? A worried knot forms in his chest because creatures like that don't just head back to their own realm for no reason. And a strange low-grade stone sit right where the monster fell. He grips his sword and wonders out loud if he actually awakened. Then a voice yells, "Sir?" And his companions rush over, praising his incredible magic against the goblin. But their words just leave him more confused. And then it hits him like a truck. Wasn't this his very first character from that D&F game he loved so much? That means he's got all 3 classes of his old main right here in his own body. Members hearing that even double awakened folks are stupidly rare and sign insane contracts with top guilds. But a triple awakened, his mind starts racing through the possibilities. Escapes his lips. Then his fists clench tight. This is insane. A silent cheer explodes inside his chest until he accidentally shouts out loud. Someone slams on the wall and yells at him to quiet down. He just mutters a quick sorry, still buzzing. Crashes back in fast. Jumping straight into dungeon fights would be suicide. Way too many new awakened end up dead in their first week. He needs to build up his skills first. So how does a guy make some cash without risking his neck? Every option. A way to earn money without swinging a sword at all? He sits there thinking, pieces slowly clicking into place. Vacation hits max level. Should he test it right now? He picks up a simple glass cup and stares at it. Time to find out just how broken his power really is. Been waiting for example. This cup, his first real test for this crazy replication power. A glowing field suddenly manifests right in front of him, crackling with energy. He holds his breath, heart slamming against his ribs, as the cup gets wrapped in a shimmering, ethereal aura. Then, with a soft pop, a perfect duplicate appears, and a wave of triumphant realistic. Marveling at its flawless form, and a wide disbelieving grin spreads across his face. The implications hit him like a truck. His potential just skyrocketed in a single moment. An exhilarating rush fills his entire body because this isn't just a skill. It's a straight-up cheat code with truck. It's worked like a charm. Our hero locks in on his next goal, a high-stakes treasure hunt for artifacts. He learns these relics come with different ranks based on their power. From total junk to god-tier finds. Time to put his new ability to the test for real profit. Covered in faded patterns, a strange energy practically humming off it. Our boy carefully picks it up and activates his appraisal skill, letting the system reveal its true nature. The vase is an artifact, all right, though its power level is pretty low. Still, it's appropriate for us to make the destiny not pass by. Searching through the shop with renewed determination, because every item could be his next big score. Suddenly, his gaze lands on a small, unassuming wooden box tucked away in a dark corner. An overwhelming aura blasts off it, sending a jolt of pure adrenaline through his veins. His heart pounds as he reaches up the stairs, out eyes wide with pure disbelief and elation. Our hero has just hit the absolute jackpot, a wide grin plastered across his face. This single find alone could change his entire financial situation overnight. Ox, fighting to keep his composure so the shop owner stays blissfully unaware of the treasure he just sold. Clutching his new prize, our guy practically floats out of the door. He feels a profound shift in his destiny. With every step he takes, suddenly washes over him as he remembers his old, miserable life. That demanding boss, those soul-crushing orders. Why should he still take any of that? A defiant spark lights up in his eyes, and he questions every single moment of his past subservience. Because this artifact is his ticket to true freedom. The thought of breaking those old chains fills him with liberating energy, and he clenches his fist. The era of being pushed around is officially over, and our hero is becoming the master of his own fate. He decides to head home and sell his new treasures. Selling them off will secure his future and solidify his finances, filling him with anticipation. But the streets have other plans for him today. Something dangerous unfolding just up the street. Two shadowy figures corner a young woman, their intentions clearly malicious, and a knot of dread tightens in his stomach. He hesitates, weighing the risk, but he can't just stand by and let them do it. With a surge of resolve, he decides to act, his gaze hardening. But then, to his utter shock, the girl unleashes glowing energy and expertly fends off both attackers with a powerful impact. The two thugs go flying, crashing into a wall with a sickening thud. Our hero just watches, stunned by her unexpected death, eyes blazing with fierce determination. This girl is clearly an awakened, and a formidable one at that. The attackers scramble to their feet, their bravado completely shattered. They exchange nervous glances before turning tail and fleeing for their lives. Her eyes widening slightly as she notices our hero watching from across the street. A hint of awkwardness hangs in the air as he offers a small apologetic nod. She approaches him cautiously, curiosity flickering across her expression as she wonders if he's awakened to it. Brief silent assessment, recognizing strength in each other in the aftermath of the fight. She introduces herself as Lee Jihei. Her voice calm and steady, our guy reciprocates, feeling a strange sense of destiny pulling at him. Then she invites him to a nearby cafe, and he accepts without hesitation. The cheap aroma of instant coffee filling the air as she apologizes for the low-grade brew. Jihei explains her role as an awakened, revealing she's part of an organization that deals with artifacts. Her eyes sharpened as she senses his unique abilities, and asks about his powers over the next. Doesn't make him deeper into the air. So our hero decides to be honest and reveal his appraisal skill. Appraiser is an incredibly rare and valuable asset. She leans in and proposes he register his skill with her organization, offering protection and serious resources. Our guy just found his first real ally in this dangerous new world, and the door to something much bigger is swinging wide open. From every direction. Guilds are already circling like sharks, desperate to recruit any promising awakened who stumbles into the light. But Do-hyuk feels a strange, fleeting relief that nobody has noticed him yet, because here's the terrorist of his own shield. Wants is to earn some cash and build his strength in the shadows. So our lone spellcaster walks his solitary path with quiet, trembling determination. Our boy focuses everything on replicating the item in front of him. His replication skill activates at max level, hope surging through his chest as the air vibrates with raw magical energy. But then, a harsh system message crushes his dreams. Replication fails. The item is simply beyond his level, hope surging through his chest as the air vibrates with raw magical energy. But then, a harsh system message crushes as the air vibrates with raw magical energy. But then, a harsh system message crushes as the air. The body pro-artifact shatters into worthless fragments right before his eyes. Do-hyuk feels that sting hard. Replicating rare-grade items is still miles out of his reach and can't be copied. He slips it onto his finger and feels its subtle power thrumming through him. Then he logs onto DeusNet to check market prices for his other finds. His plan is clean and simple: replicate everything else and throw them up for auction. This is his chance to turn loot into cold, hard cash. Online hub where awakened share dungeon info, news, and secrets. But more importantly, it's the primary marketplace for trading powerful artifacts. Fortunes are made in Lost here every single day. Through a brutal auction system in Japan, we meet Ri, a sharp-eyed gunner type awakened with serious focus. She scrolls through listings, and suddenly her gaze sharpens. An interesting artifact catches her attention, and her mind immediately races through its strategic value. This isn't just any item experiencing a battlefield. This isn't just any item at all. It's the other bidders, already planning her winning move, because hesitation in this market means losing everything. A failed bid. But then a single awakened posted 2 artifacts at the same time, a rare and a normal. That unusual timing grabs Ri's attention immediately. She analyzes the seller's strategy, wondering if this is calculated risk or desperate panic. And then she sees it. A potential weakness she can explore. A predator glint enters her eyes. Her competitive spirit ignites, pushes her to strike before anyone else can react. Flashes across the screen. A hand grabs the garment and the item vanishes from the display. The tension in this digital auction room is suffocating as the artifact changes hands in an instant. Ri watches intently, filing away the identity of the successful bidder. Because every move here is a power play, and she's always learning. Pushing through pure agony, his muscles burn as he grinds out push-up after push-up, nearing his goal on the 49th rep. His body screams, but his will is stronger. With one final explosive effort, he completes the challenge and collapses with a triumphant shout. Then a rush of energy hits him. He levels up to 11. Assistant message confirms he's now a Class 2 wizard. Our boy smiles, exhausted but proud. His stats are perfectly distributed for his unique survival spellcaster style. Our guy immediately sets his sights on the wizard's signature activation spell and the concentration spell. These 2 skills are absolutely crucial for surviving relentless monster attacks. He learned this lesson the hard way in his past life. Monsters never leave a spellcaster alone, and there's only one way to master them: relentless soul-crushing practice. Calling for firmness and strength in armor. But the spell fizzles, concentration failed, the armor spell cancels. He grits his teeth and tries again. Failure. 20 times he attempts, 20 times the system slaps him down. Frustration mounts as he wonders what crucial element he's missing. The solution feels just out of reach, taunting him. Voice cuts through his concentration. A child screams for someone to get the ball before it's lost. Our hero watches as this small, desperate drama unfolds nearby. The ball bounces into the air, every fiber of their being focused on that single moment, holds its breath as gravity pulls them back down. And then, armor. Ball hangs in the air, and so does everything else. The whole world feels frozen around that tiny outstretched hand. Our boy watches, breath caught in his chest, as that one moment stretches into eternity. Too far. The child's fingers brush empty air, and that perfect, desperate reach falls short. Kid's face. Small cuts appear from nowhere, carved by a strange energy wrapping around him. Our hero's stomach drops, because now he has to ask himself if his own armor is even working at all. Suddenly, the kid's eyes go wide with pure wonder, and he asks if this guy is some kind of superhero. Our protagonist just pauses, letting that question hang between them. Something shifts inside him in that silence. Skill lights up in his mind. Activation spell. Level 1 gives him 10 seconds plus 1 more to cast spells while moving. And right on cue, the concentration spell unlocks too, showing him how to hold focus under pressure. A real, genuine spark of something that almost looks like a smile. He starts to say his name, pulls back with this wide, almost mischievous grin and plays dumb instead. Claims he has no idea what the kid is talking about. When terrifying faces with glowing red eyes rip out of the darkness, a man lies broken on the ground, and someone screams about another dimensional gate opening. Chaos doesn't knock, it just blows the door off its hinges. Gate tore open up there, high above everyone, glowing like a wound in the sky. Every head snaps upward because this just got a whole lot worse. A force to punch straight through solid ground. That's no ordinary monster. A powerful boom erupts and our guy's attention locks on tight. Wait a second. Goggles, short limbs, a bow made with way too much skill for a beast. He used to catch these things for fun back in DNF. That's a gnome. A gnome with that kind of firepower means someone smarter is pulling the strings. Mid-step, a voice cuts through the chaos, ordering him to stop. But there's no time for questions. Piercing pain explodes through his body, an attack he didn't even see coming. The world blurs as he stumbles back. Desperate shout warns him not to lose focus. Danger is closing in from every direction. He forces his eyes open, heart hammering in his chest. The woman throws herself into the fight, her weapon meeting an enemy's strike with a deafening clang. Sparks fly as she holds the line. She's buying him precious seconds. Blur races past them both, leaving glowing trails in the air like angry fireflies. Something fast and deadly is circling. And then the scream comes. A raw, guttural sound that freezes the woman in place. Horror washes over her face as she watches him fall. Staying, refusing to run. She's awakened too, she says, and she belongs in this fight. But he warns her that she might change her mind once she sees what's coming. As an armored monster crashes down like a meteor. Strange energy radiates from its massive form. Her eye goes wide with pure primal terror. What the hell is that thing? Explains it calmly. That's submission. A top-tier monster skill that petrifies the body. So how is he still moving? He's been hit by it before, he says, and that changes everything. Without hesitation, he scoops her paralyzed body into his arms. He carries her away from the killing zone, holding her close. She can't move, but she's alive. Vaults over a wave of fleeing civilians. Bodies push past him in a panic, but he's running toward the nightmare, not away. He forces with cold precision. 10 hammer gnomes, 9 archer gnomes, and then there's the leader. That armored leader is the real problem. A single magic missile won't even scratch that defense, so he changes tactics. Take out the smaller ones first. Isolate the beast. Gnome leaders shield closely. There's something wrong with that power, something suspicious hiding beneath the metal. With a subtle wish, he launches a projectile, pure magic, perfect balance, deadly precision. Takes a step forward, already analyzing. These magic missiles hit harder than anything he remembers from DNF. The gnomes turn with glowing red eyes, absolutely furious and ready to strike. Fear flashing through the air like lightning. A whoosh of energy surrounds him. His face tightens, teeth gritted against what's coming. And reality twists. Suddenly he's small, facing down a massive dragon. The monster lunges, and the gnome just grins, then unleashes a devastating burst of power that makes the archer scream in terror. In horror, these fear hallucinations scale with his own wisdom level. Compared to his other spells, this effect is insane, and that's when he pulls out the replicated fountain pen. Hiss cuts through the air like steam from a forge. Whatever just activated, it's not finished yet. The real battle is just beginning. Bugs off magic like water. A magic-resistant barrier. Fine. He doesn't care. There are other ways to break an enemy. Wish cuts the silence. Something flies through the air, unseen and unstoppable. And now, we wait to see where it lands. Shakes the entire battlefield. Our guy feels the shockwave travel up his arm as something gives way. That shield isn't as unbreakable as his enemy thought. And then a loud crack echoes through the air. Wait a second. Our hero dodges back and takes a real look. The thing is completely empty. The bastard was bluffing this whole time. Man doesn't waste the opening. He fires off a magic missile that slams straight into the exposed target. The spells rip through the defense one after another. A vicious hiss rises as the enemy's last layer of protection falls apart. And now every spell can finally land. Our protagonist feels the fear spells start to slip, holding those creatures back by a thread. He knows this ends right now. He dashes forward. With a flick of his hand, he unleashes a precise projectile. The magic cuts through the air and flies straight and true. No more tricks, no more blocks, just pure impact. Only the leader had that magic-resistant shield this time. Our guy stumbles back, catching his breath, but the relief doesn't last. There's no telling what the next battle will bring, and the pressure only grows heavier. Lone Spellcaster is on, and the powerful Plum Blossom Guild is already making its move. Their formidable guildmaster, Lizzie, confronts a man who has just arrived, She demands to know his purpose, and he quickly explains he's there to deliver an urgent report. The air crackles with unspoken tension as he stands before her. It's almost unbearable, a silent standoff between the powerful guildmaster and the nervous reporter. Finally, the man breaks the silence, offering a hurried apology. He declares his intention to depart immediately, clearly feeling the immense pressure of Lizzie's presence. Before he can even take a step, a sudden, brutal kick sends him hurtling across the room. He crashes into the wall with a sickening thud, completely blindsided by the unexpected assault. The force of the blow leaves him stunned and gasping for air. The city hums with its own drama as a sleek white luxury car glides through the towering urban landscape. Inside, a news report blares, announcing a sudden monster outbreak on New Humanity Street. This news immediately grabs the attention of the car's occupants, sparking a news report as well. Displaying a familiar contact, Baby, the woman in the car, a sly smirk playing on her lips, answers the call with a confident air. She readily agrees to the task presented to her, clearly relishing the challenge ahead. Declares with absolute certainty that she will use her irresistible charm to secure the recruitment. She believes her captivating personality is all it will take to win over our hero. The air is thick with her unwavering confidence, setting a determined tone for her mission. To a halt, tires burning against the asphalt. The abrupt stop jolts everyone inside, shattering the previous moment of calm. Something unexpected has clearly happened, demanding immediate attention. Sudden screech leaves a lingering silence heavy with unspoken questions. The occupants of the car exchange uneasy glances, waiting for an explanation. The tension stretches, making every second feel like an eternity. Expresses deep frustration, suggesting they abandon the recruitment mission entirely. Our hero shows no interest in joining any guild, leading them to wonder if he's already made a deal with the formidable White Lotus Guild. The pressure to secure him intensifies with this new uncertainty. Air hangs heavy with the weight of their dilemma, the question of our hero's allegiance looming large. Everyone feels the immense pressure of their mission, knowing the stakes are incredibly high. The silence stretches, building anticipation for the next revolution. Ending. Suddenly, a staggering figure is mentioned. 100 billion won? The sheer audacity of such a sum hangs in the air, leaving everyone stunned. This outrageous demand completely shifts their perspective on our hero's intentions. The idea of such a contract is impossible. Yet a new thought sparks in her mind. She realizes our hero might not be rejecting them outright, but rather searching for a guild that truly understands his immense worth. This revelation brings a new layer of understanding to his elusive behavior. A silent acknowledgement of our hero's true intentions. The focus shifts, moving away from the frantic guild politics. We now turn our attention to the man at the center of all this intense recruitment. Wolf reflects on the sudden surge of attention, finding it incredibly strange to be so sought after. He feels a mix of bewilderment and perhaps a touch of satisfaction at the unexpected demand for his skills. The world is finally recognizing his power, even if it feels a bit overwhelming. Found fame settles around him, but our hero quickly shifts his focus to the task at hand. His path leads him to a desolate, forbidden zone. A sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air, hinting at dangers ahead. It looms large, declaring the area restricted due to its proximity to the field and a high likelihood of monster presence. The Korea Ministry of Awakened Affairs explicitly disclaims responsibility for anyone entering without permission. Our hero, however, seems undeterred by the grave danger. Points out his newly acquired armored vehicle, a formidable machine worth a staggering 500 million won. This impressive purchase highlights his meticulous preparation and serious intent for whatever lies ahead. He is clearly ready to face any challenge. The ominous warning signs create an intense atmosphere. Every second feels charged with anticipation, building towards an inevitable confrontation. Our hero stands at the precipice of a dangerous journey, ready to plunge into the unknown. And our lone spellcaster charges forward, embracing the perilous journey ahead. He steps confidently into the restricted zone, ready to face whatever monstrous threats await him. The true test of his power is about to begin. Bureaucratic nightmares. Most dungeons are locked behind layers of guild rules and KMAA regulations, forcing hunters to jump through endless hoops just to step inside. But our guy isn't most hunters. He's got his own private playground. No paper app exceptions fired at. Sight greets him deeper in. 3 headless corpses lie sprawled across the dark ground, one still clutching a pink object in a death grip. The air feels wrong here, heavy with something that makes his instincts scream. Whatever did this is still nearby. With his current stats, he doesn't need to hide in the shadows anymore while hunting. He pulls out that white and blue case, remembering just how useful the awakened system has become. Confidence radiates off him like heat from a forge. Their carcasses with obvious pleasure, clearly impressed by their pristine condition. Our man just got paid, and paid well. But the real prize isn't the money. It's knowing he can clear these dungeons faster, harder and cleaner than anyone expected. And the next hunt is already calling his name. Assess the shock before everything shifts. A sudden, swift movement cuts through the heavy silence. Our guy's instincts scream louder than his thoughts right now, feeling that they need to run for their lives. But our protagonist just stands there, genuinely confused. Why would these clumsy, weak losers even come after him in the first place? He steadies his breathing and raises his glowing shield. His expression locked in, strike dead on, and his barrier holds firm. The attacker can't possibly keep burning through this much magical energy. Our boy decides right then to just eat the next hit and end this farce. His spell, supercharged by raw wisdom, makes the poor guy's entire body vibrate from the inside. In comes a tiny trickle of blood. A harsh, wet cough follows right after. Something is deeply wrong here. Down at the crumpled figure, our hero stands over the fallen opponent, completely calm. There's just one more left to handle now. His legs suddenly feel like lead. He staggers, barely keeping upright. A heavy punch sends shockwaves through his frame, and then another one lands hard. He starts screaming in pure agony. Our man doesn't let up for a second. Another brutal impact. And another. Breaks under the pressure. He suddenly pauses, a strange thought cutting through the violence. What is this uneasy feeling crawling up his spine? He throws a quick glance around, standing in a desolate area next to an armored vehicle. A defeated figure lies on the ground as three new men approach. They explain calmly that since video proof exists, the law will treat this as self-defense. He agrees to cooperate with the investigation for now. A guttural roar tears through the moment. Whatever just arrived has no intention of talking things out. Our guy braces himself as pure chaos lunges forward again. Casually drops that he used to hunt this creature back in DNF. Suddenly, one of the agents shouts a desperate warning. "Get away from there! Now!" Flames shoot from the creature's fingertips as its hands ignite. It unleashes a blinding burst of energy with a massive flare. Just an attack. It was a signal. The alpha just summoned the rest of its pack. Here, looking on with worried expressions. They realize the wolf pack living in this field just got called in. This situation just got seriously tricky. Fortified enough to get our hero out of there. But the other refuses to leave him alone, insisting they can help. Our guy fires back, reminding them they almost died trying to help just now. He points out they don't even have weapons, and screams at them to get out of the way. Admits the guy is right and agrees to fall back. But just as they make the call, the pack closes in with a thunderous roar. Ending. So he takes a stand. He'll buy them some time, raising his defenses while ordering the rest to prepare their escape. Then he lets out a fierce battle cry and shout that they're ready to go. He slams his command. "Okay, let's move." Roars away as one agent vows to return with an army of awakened. Left alone now, our protagonist clears his mind and prepares to leap. Claws glow with fully charged power. It swings a devastating slash. The claw slams down with such force that the ground cracks beneath the impact. Here comes the tail whip next, another familiar pattern from D and F. He knows the routine, but once he dodges this, the rest of the pack will attack immediately. And then, a sudden flash of light, a blinding burst, startles him right in the middle of his dodge. And then, a hissing sound as everything begins to fade. Rock the space, one after another. The wolf lets out a final, agonized screech. Smirks, realizing the beast can't move because of its recharge period. Just like in DNF, a glowing blue orb forms on his fingertip, electricity arcing around his hand. Flames burst to life with a sharp zing. Comes the kaboom. And whatever just exploded, it's safe to say this fight just took a completely unexpected turn. Crackles around our guy as he braces against that blast. But thanks to his car's dashcam footage, he proves it was self-defense. The immediate crisis gets shut down fast. Just a warning shot. With threats like that crawling out of the woodwork, he needs way better protection. His current gear won't cut it, especially with his F-rank limits. So he decides to build something new, a loyal mini drone to watch his back. Gain knowledge and starts planning every component for maximum punch. The parts from Deusnet finally arrive, and he can't wait to get home. Nah, he builds it right there on the spot. Just like his first replication spell. He picks Dimension's stone-coated steel for the frame. This little guy needs to be tough. His mechanic skills feel like they're jumping straight out of the game and into reality. He just stares at the glowing energy field, barely believing he gets to see this for real. Finish. Another crucial detail flashes through his mind. He remembers extra components that'll boost the drone's power even further. Our hero pulls them out, knowing this is the difference between good and devastating. Pieces click into place with a satisfying hum. A wave of triumph washes over Do-hyuk as his new mechanical partner powers up. He looks at his creation and feels ready for whatever comes next. Channeling that blue energy, our guy rides an armored vehicle straight through rustling foliage. He's charging towards something, itching to unleash his brand new toy. In the distance, goblins rustling through the dense brush with clubs raised. Perfect test subjects. He wonders if they're even worth his time. Then with a simple command, the drones launch forward. Looks like a simple toy, but don't let that fool you. It tears into monsters that can't fly, attacking from complete safety. The targeting system beeps, locks onto multiple targets, and unleashes a barrage of energy that pushes off the nostrils. The fray, blue energy flaring with every strike. Together, man and machine become an absolute nightmare for anything on the ground. The power gets so intense he can't even make out their forms anymore. On a landscape completely cleared of threats. His new drone just proved its worth in the most violent way possible. Our hero stands there, breathing hard, with a mechanical ally that's here to stay. It's the thing he doesn't realize yet. Someone was recording the whole thing. The video goes viral almost instantly. Whispers about this insane F-rank spread like wildfire through the awakened community. Awakened Do-hyuk Park teaches three guys a lesson and hunts down a field leader. Even the elites can't believe what they're seeing. An F-rank doing this? No way. But the footage leaves zero room for doubt. His relentless efficiency speaks for itself. His power is undeniable, even to the most skeptical observers in the room. A powerful guildmaster watches the clip with growing intensity. He recognizes something here, a talent that could reshape their entire industry. His advisors start talking about strategic advantages. Stakes meeting, an executive presents the same footage. He knows this discovery is about to shake their organization to its core. This F-rank is a game changer, plain and simple. Demands to know what the urgency is. The executive points at the screen, voice dripping with tension. The superior's eyes go wide as he mutters, "What on earth is this?" The room finally recognizes him. Wait, isn't this Do-hyuk Park? The executive confirms it, explaining this isn't just some normal hunting video. The implications are staggering. It challenges everything they thought they knew about awakened ranks. Executive leans in, voice dropping to a serious tone. He reveals the true significance of what they're witnessing. Then he utters a single heavy word that makes everyone freeze. Manhwa, that name alone carries impossible weight. He's taking charge of the recruitment personally. His subordinate gasps. The master says, "Never heard of anyone who could." He drives the point home. If Do-hyuk can do this as an F-rank, imagine what happens when he levels up. Even 100 billion won won't mean anything then. The decision is final. Their guild has to recruit him. And just like that, the stakes for our hero explode into the stratosphere. Just got absolutely insane. One guild throws down a massive 700 million won offer right off the bat. The whole market is buzzing, everyone's scrambling to lock down this F-rank phenomenon. But then the Plum Blossom Guild completely flips the table, skyrocketing the offer to a staggering $100 billion. They believe in his potential. But not everyone is sold on our guy. One member actually tells their master to give up on Do-hyuk, convinced he's nothing special. Meanwhile, a desperate representation frantically calls Mr. Park with a recruitment officer. Do-hyuk is absolutely seething on his end. He knows that viral monster hunting footage might make him look like a murderer to the public. So our man decides to take full control of his own narrative. He fires off a bold text message to every single interested guild. Clear that he didn't upload that video. but he also drops a huge hint about his true power. Our boy confidently declares his abilities are now worth way more than 100 billion won. Then he throws down the ultimate challenge. Come witness his real strength. At Gangdam's Deo, silence somewhere else. A driver getting choked out in pure rage. Meanwhile, Do-Hui's father scolds her for not dressing like a proper elegant lady. But Do-Hui isn't having any of his old-fashioned nonsense for a second. Fires back that comfortable clothes means survival inside a deadly dungeon. Her father tries to compromise, offering a new protective guild uniform instead. But Do-Hui instantly shuts him down, revealing his superior suit actually has weaker defense. The look on his face is priceless. To make a move on that potential recruit, Do-Hui can't stop talking about how impressed she is with Do-Hyuk's skills, even though the KMAA dismissed him as just a normal spellcaster. Then she asks the critical question, why are spellcasters always so undervalued? Chain skills together which kills their combat effectiveness. But Do-Hui insists our boy is completely different after watching his NeoTube video. She proclaims him no ordinary awakened at all. Her father hesitates, wondering if this F rank is really worth the second F rank is really worth such. Her ground, trusting her gut instinct that has never failed her before. She tells her dad to stop being so old-fashioned. He watches his daughter carefully, realizing he hasn't seen her smile with this much genuine excitement in years. Her eyes finally sways him despite all his doubts about an F-rank rookie. He asks about the recruiting budget, and Do-Hui drops the number without flinching. A full 10 billion won to secure Do-Hyuk. Her father sighs deeply, but that glint in his daughter's eyes is absolutely undeniable. Granting the budget but warning her not to waste a single one. Do-Hui beams with pure joy, letting out a triumphant, infectious laugh. Somewhere nearby, someone watches a water magic display, quietly noting how hard is conceiving. AMAA's Yunso Lee greets the assembled crowd, introducing herself as tonight's moderator. The tension builds as she announces a special auction, but not for any artifact, for something way more sensational. The moment finally arrives. She dramatically introduces the public sensation himself. Spellcaster awakened Mr. Do-Hyuk Park. Our boy steps forward, coolly introducing himself to the captivated audience. He immediately tackles the elephant in the room, explaining his unique ability to cast skills without any delay. Accusing him of running a scam and demanding proof, the heckler threatens Do-Hyuk, insisting the video must be photoshopped. He calls our boy a liar to his face, but Do-Hyuk doesn't say a word in response. Armor, both spells manifesting in a blinding flash. The audience watches in absolute awe, the two spells perfectly synchronized with zero visible delay. Gasps ripple through everyone as they realize what they just witnessed. Our boy confidently declares his unmatched caching speed, silencing the doubters in one move, if they're satisfied with that demonstration. But one stubborn skeptic just lets out a frustrated hump, arguing that shield is way too simple. The guy demands an attack spell instead. Too bad for him, Do-Hyuk was already 3 steps ahead. Next demonstration using an assistant scarecrow. But suddenly a mysterious figure steps forward, cutting him off with a clear "excuse me." The newcomer volunteers to be Do-Hyuk's living demonstration target instead of some lifeless dummy. Really dismisses the whole thing as an obvious scam. But then a hand swings out, conjuring a shield and armor spell in an instant. The sudden display of defensive magic catches absolutely everyone off guard. Stands firm, completely ready for whatever our boy throws her way. Do-Hyuk studies her silently, a smirk playing on his lips. The tension in the room becomes absolutely suffocating. Everyone leans in, desperate to see what happens. Out of frustrated humph, clearly annoyed by Do-Hyuk's silent assessment, she's ready to prove her worth, challenging his gaze without flinching. But our boy's eyes just gleamed brighter. A new dangerous idea has cleared before me. A new dangerous idea is clearly forming in his mind. As she would be a far better target than some cheap scarecrow. The crowd leans in, sensing the demonstration shifting in a whole new direction. Every eye is locked on Do-Hyuk. His next move will absolutely define his power for everyone watching. He boldly declares that she would be a much better demonstration target, then asks the audience what they think. The room goes deathly silent. Is he seriously about to use a volunteer? Or did he just walk into a trap? Our boy Do-Hyuk just volunteered a living, breathing target for his demonstration. But everyone knows the brutal truth about spellcasting. You stand still like a statue while your magic charges up. That frozen moment is a death sentence against any real monster. His spells fire the instant he whispers the chant. No delay, no standing around like an idiot. That means he can dance between attacks while unleashing absolute hell at the same time. And his magic hits just as hard as the slow-casting guys, maybe even harder. The explosion rips through the air with devastating force. Right here is his secret weapon, a total game-changer that flips the entire awakened world on its head. Our Lone Spellcaster is about to show everyone what's really possible. The crowd realizes who just stepped up. It's Song Mi Ma, the legendary tanker from the Blue Star Guild, makes her entrance. And suddenly this demonstration just got real. A second. But she shuts down his concern immediately. Our guy throws down a bold challenge. Would she rather be his target than some pathetic scarecrow? Her eyes flash with fierce pride. She wants to feel every ounce of his power. With her eyes flash with fierce pride, she wants to feel every ounce of his power with her own body. Song Mi Ma of the Blue Star Guild is ready for war. This is fierce pride. She wants to feel every ounce of his power with her own body. Song Mi Ma of the Blue Star Guild is ready for war. And if the Blue Star Guild is ready for war, let's open her status window for everyone to see, inviting the whole crowd to judge his power against her shield. And those numbers are insane. 101 physical defense, 155 magic defense. Stats that only come from legendary artifacts or insane skills. In a real fight, those numbers surged even higher. She's basically an impenetrable fortress. Our hero cracks his knuckles and prepares to let loose. He flashes back to past fights, those sloppy weaklings he crushed before. Song Mi Ma is nothing like them. This is the perfect chance to test his full power. Against a specialist defense, her body glowing as her defensive skills roar to life, an unyielding fortress radiating raw power daring him to break her. Massive defense barriers hum around the stage, crackling with energy, ready to contain the storm about to erupt. Flash tears through the air as Do Hyuk begins his assault. Magic missiles streak forward with a terrifying whoosh, slamming into her shield with explosive force. One after another, rapid fire, each impact shaking the entire stage. Those hit simultaneously, and then flames erupt from his fingertips. Burning hands engulfs her defenses in a torrent of fire. The crowd gasps in disbelief. A spell that powerful required absolute no casting time. Cracks under the relentless assault. Spiderweb fissures spread like madness across its surface. Then, with a deafening sound, the outer shield shatters completely, fragments exploding outward. Even the legendary tanker's eyes go wide with pure shock. He just did the impossible against a top-tier D-rank awakened. Did her defense shield, leaving the audience stunned into silence. A guild representative, voice trembling with awe, urges him to show even more. Song Mi Ma, shaken but defiant, says she's still good. Our man's grin widens. He rejects working with spellcasters. But this display has her hooked. Do Hyuk promises to show his full power, flames blazing around his hands once more. He looks absolutely thrilled. Another volley of burning hands crashes down with devastating force. Focuses everything into a single concentrated blast, finger aimed like a loaded gun. The energy streaks toward her and she reacts in pure shock. The concentrated blows slam home, pushing her backward with incredible force. Her remaining defenses crackled and spark. Struggling to hold across the stage from the sheer force of his attack, she stumbles, body reeling, pain undeniable this time. Her glowing shield flares back to life with a sudden whoosh, barely holding against the onslaught. But she looks up, eyes burning with resolve, still ready to continue the fight. Apologizes for going too far. She just laughs it off. She hasn't been honored with an injury like this in a very long time. She thanks him for the experience, genuine appreciation in her voice. They shake hands firmly, mutual respect forged in the heat of battle. Action gets cut short because his power actually damaged the stage barrier. But our man doesn't waste a second. He seizes the moment and declares he's ready to state his conditions right now. Join any guild. Period. He'll work as a mercenary, a strategic ally, but never a full member. One representative immediately rejects the terms, unwilling to invest without ownership. Do Hyuk just shrugs and tells him the door's right there. Storms out with his buddy. Other guilds murmur among themselves. His power is undeniable, but that price tag for a mercenary. Our guy just sits there, expression completely unreelable. He challenges them directly. Why invest 100 billion won in a non-member? Then he drops another bombshell. He can also manufacture and sell goods. The representative's jaws hit the floor. This guy isn't just a spellcaster. He's gotten manually group. The breaks is just a spellcaster. He's gotten manually still. Different. He's a dual awakened, an incredibly rare and powerful combination. He asks them to keep his secret. The Plum Blossom Guild immediately accepts, offering 100 billion for 5 years, but then the other guild counters with 150 billion, and they sweeten the potty over, 50% above whatever Plum Blossom offers. Our boy just started a bidding war. One for an F-rank rookie. The entire awakened world thinks Guildmaster Dohui Bake has lost her damn mind. Whispers spread like wildfire, everyone questioning her sanity over our boy Do-hyuk. But he keeps the massive contract a secret from his family, not wanting to worry them, still shower him with love anyway, completely unaware of the storm brewing around their son. Their voices trembling with genuine concern. Prioritize safety above all else, they beg. During his brief rest at home, Do-hyuk meticulously gathers powerful new artifacts, quietly boosting his hidden strength. A rare bracelet, rare shoes, and old prayer books have gone down. Wisdom and magic have soared past 300, while his other attributes hit a solid 100. Those numbers already rival a C-rank awakened. So our lone spellcaster shifts his focus, hunting for more spells instead of just artifacts. He prepares for his next big move. Protagonist approaches the towering Blue Star Guild headquarters, a monument of pure power stabbing into the city skyline. He stands in the opulent lobby, looking like just another rookie, but the whispers start immediately, people questioning the guildmaster's sanity for bringing in some unknown F-rank. Their discontent hangs thick in the air. There's nothing he can do about it. On the outside, he just looks like any F-rank rookie, and honestly, that's the perfect disguise. He calmly requests to see the guildmaster, unaware of the challenge waiting for him. And then a new figure emerges from the crowd, sizing our guy up with a straight-up predator kick. The guild's resident bully, here to welcome the new high-paid rookie. Everyone watches, eager to see how this kid will fare against the infamous initiation. Minchul extends his hand with a deceptively polite smile. "Nice to meet you," he says, but there's no thing nice about the glint in his eyes. His expression calm and totally collected. Minchul's grin just widens, a clear signal that something nasty is coming. Their hands clasp together, but this is no ordinary greeting. It's a brutal, silent test of strength. Minchul's eyes go wide, his power fails to faze our hero at all. Do-hyuk internally scoffs at this cliché rite of passage, refusing to be pushed around by an arrogant senior. A blue orb of magic forms on his finger, manifesting an invisible armor, now being deaded for a few bucks. Our guy shows zero pain, completely unfazed by the assault. So Do-hyuk taunts him, asking if that's all he's got, demanding even more from the flustered bully. That's when Minchul's eyes glow crimson, with pure joy. Beneath them starts to rumble, unable to contain the clashing energies. With their hands still locked, a massive explosion of power erupts, shaking the entire damn lobby. Onlookers gasp, wondering if Minchul is going to be too far. But Do-hyuk just stands there, completely unbothered. Our boy remains perfectly fine, his composure unshaken. Minchul's face contorts with extreme anger, his pride absolutely shattered by this rookie's indifference. Then Do-hyuk delivers the final blow, declaring the rite of passage utterly uninteresting. Cold. It's his arrogance crumbling to dust. The onlookers realize they just witnessed a super rookie's power, and they're beginning to regret underestimating him. Suddenly, two powerful figures clash, their energies colliding with immense force. And echoing through the lobby, this just escalated fast. Shouts for help, fearing everything is spiraling out of control. Do-hyuk watches the unfolding chaos with a serious, calculating expression. A loud yell pierces the air, followed by a sharp, painful sound. Flinches violently, his body snapping under an unseen force. He just slumps to the ground, utterly defeated and knocked unconscious. The man in the suit collapses with a heavy thud. Forward, radiating pure authority. A woman, just back from a dungeon, looks sternly as she taps a device. She taps her chest, taking full responsibility and promising to discipline Minchul. Again. Do-hyuk wonders if this whole guild operates like a damn military, individually training its awakened members. The instructor then addresses him directly, inviting him upstairs for their meeting. Her timing feels way too perfect. Our hero's mind races, paranoia, and accepts the invitation with a polite thank you. The sound of clicking heels echoes as they ascend, building intense anticipation. They finally arrive at the opulent Blue Star Guild Master's Room, a place of immense power, and in front of us. Reveals it's also the group president's office, asking if he minds sharing the space. Do-hyuk casually agrees, and she admits she's surprised. Most rookies immediately splurge their new wealth, but not this guy. Our hero explains his true priority isn't money at all. He needs a specific dungeon to enhance his skills. A unique dungeon teeming with mechanized goblins. He needs that specific challenge. The guildmaster quickly identifies it as the M-Goblin Sindorum, D-731, already on their extensive list. Then we get a menacing close-up of two mechanized goblins, their red eyes glowing with sinister intent. This is a formidable challenge culminating in a goblin chief engineer boss. The guildmaster presents Do-hyuk with a comprehensive list of requested dungeons. A valuable gift. She emphasizes the guild's commitment to his growth. Because his strength directly benefits all of them, this list is incredibly useful, even beyond his primary goal of finding a golem blueprint. He senses this particular dungeon holds the key to his power progression. That's when the guildmaster addresses him formally, a serious edge creeping into her voice. The specific dungeon is under the direct management of their guild. And then, with a surprising offer that changes everything, she asks if she can personally accompany him on his next dangerous expedition. Why would a guildmaster want to follow an F-rank rookie into a dungeon? Our lone spellcaster is about to find out. Breaking point. Drenched in sweat and completely exhausted, the guildmaster refuses to slow down. Steam rises off her burning muscles, but that fire in her eyes just burns brighter. She knows what's at stake, so with one final swing, she finishes her workout, ready for whatever comes next. It's Instructor Park hauling an insane load during his morning grind. A subordinate asks if he's ever not training, but Park just shrugs it off before revealing the real reason for all this suffering. Turns out the guildmaster caught one of their own fighting Do-hyuk. Now everyone's paying the price. About our protagonist spread like wildfire. A 150 billion won contract, the highest amount anyone has ever seen. Seong-mi admits his attacks absolutely crushed her. She hasn't felt pain like that in years. But here's the crazy part. She actually loved it, that thrill welcoming. How rare it is for her to praise any spellcaster. But even he agrees Do-hyuk is something special. Then he gently teases her about being so stiff and formal. Lighten up a little, right? She just holds her composure and explains her family has been soldiers. This is just who she is. No point fighting a lifetime of military discipline. So instead, he promises to set up that rematch she's craving. A real team-up between two monsters. But he also warns her to take it easy. Pushing too hard will just break her before the real fight even starts. She's still grinding, pushing past every limit to prove she belongs on this expedition with our hero. Then she finally calls out to him. It's time. Do-hyuk looks surprised she arranged everything so fast, but she just shrugs. Standard procedure for guild members. The porters are waiting. All they need is they right away. Usually porters are just civilians hauling monster corpses. But here, even the porters are awakened. That's what happens when you run with the country's 7th biggest guild. He figures this must be training for new recruits. Nothing like a real dungeon to separate the weak from the strong. To go in alone. A little worry creeps into her voice, but our hero just smiles and says he's absolutely certain he won't die. That bold confidence catches her off guard. He's not bluffing either. This isn't hope. It's calculated certain he won't die. That bold confidence catches her off guard. He's not bluffing either. This isn't hope. It's calculated certain he won't die. That bold confidence catches her off guard. He's not bluffing either. This isn't hope. It's actually settling certain he won't die. Completely calm as strange green energy hums to life beside him. Then a shimmering portal rips open in front of them. Our hero stares into that swirling gateway and realizes this is it. His very first dungeon as an awakened. No hesitation. He steps right through. Forest so quiet it feels wrong. A powerful green energy suddenly bursts forward, enveloping him in an instant. He steps into the glow and takes a long look around. Random forest dungeon, no immediate danger yet, but his instincts are already screaming to stay alert. Silence. Firm. Ready. She reminds him of their deal. She's standing back to watch. No interference. He feels the pressure settle on his shoulders as she tells him to unleash everything. Show her what he can really do. Ends the area, already planning his next move. Two paths stretch out before him. A wild, dense forest or an open, well-managed field. Most adventurers would take the easy route through the meadow, but not this guy. He heads straight for the trees, activates his defensive magic, and smirks. Smart goblins would trap the meadow. He's already 3 steps ahead. Step deeper into the shadows, then he just bolts, sprinting like a man possessed. A sudden gust of wind whips past him, and he reacts instantly. An explosion erupts right behind him, missing by inches. Another blur of motion tears through the air. These enemies are not playing around. In the darkness, they think they have him cornered. But our boy moves like a ghost, way too fast for their clumsy ambush. He explodes upward in a massive leap, dodging another strike mid-air. Then he lands perfectly and unleashes hell. His focus never wavers as he calmly tells them he knew they were there the whole time. Dead right. He glides right through their hidden trap like it wasn't even there. The unseen attackers freeze in shock. Their perfect ambush just turned into a joke. But our hero isn't done. He challenges them to bring the rest of their forces. He wants all of them. That's when everything changes. He looks up and freezes. Monstrous goblins with mechanical gauntlets descend from everywhere, completely surrounding him. One raises its weapon for a killing blow. But Do-hyuk is already moving. A blue orb flares at his fingertip. As he throws up a shield, the barrier shimmers to life just as a fingertip. As he throws up a shield, the barrier shimmers to life just as the barrage begins. Their attacks just bounced off. Useless. Fiery magic erupts from his fingertips, a torrent of raw destruction surging forward. One of those mechanized monsters watches with wide red eyes as the glow grows brighter and brighter. Fear flickers across its face. Right before Burning Hands consumes it completely, the mechanical body starts melting under that searing inferno. This is just a taste of what he can do. He stands there in the misty forest, arms still raised from the spell. A glowing red orb pulses in his hand, surrounded by shimmering raw power. The battle isn't even close to over. But our boy just shrugs and admits that little skirmish was nothing. Barely a warm-up. His real strength hasn't even come out yet. Lie broken and charred at his feet. Total domination. He takes a breath and scans the area. No more threats for now. But he doesn't relax. He walks cautiously through the misty grass, every sense on high alert. Trusting his gut completely. Something's wrong. He looks down and realizes the ground is absolutely riddled with traps. Way more complex than simple goblin tricks. And then he sees it, stretching into the foggy distance. A massive, intricate maze. He whispers to himself, "Is this the mechanical maze?" Hyuk stands before a nightmare of traps and twisting maze walls. Everyone expected him to crumble against this mechanical death trap. But our boy's skills just operate on a completely different level. Those who mocked him for struggling against basic goblins now see nothing but pure, unwavering resolve. What truly sets him apart is his spell accuracy, a rare gift that most F ranks could only dream of. While other beginners barely land 35% of their shots, Do-hyuk hits every single target with deadly precision. Makes you wonder if this guy is really just a month-old awakened. Do faces the infamous mechanical maze. Stray even a step off the right path, and blood-sucking wasps will tear him apart. Hidden poisonous thorns wait to paralyze the unwary. And if that's not terrifying enough, razor-sharp sawtooth wheels spin silently in the shadows, promising a gruesome ending. Watches from the shadows, a question mark practically floating above her head. She wonders why our boy has suddenly stopped. Did he give up that easily against this deadly labyrinth? But his drone, the same one he famously used at the Deus market. The observer gasps in disbelief. Human machines aren't supposed to work inside dungeons. And yet here they are, humming to life. Bones shoot into the air, soaring high above the maze's deadly corridors. Do-hyuk commands them to share their view, and suddenly, the entire trap network lays bare before him. Hidden goblins, pressure plates, ambush points, he sees it all, and decides to farm them for experience. Smart move. With his drones watching every angle, losing his way or stepping into a trap becomes impossible. Confidence floods through him as he charts his perfect path forward. Goblins bursts from hiding. Screaming their battle cry, they launch a coordinated assault trying to overwhelm him with numbers. But Do-hyuk surprises everyone, leaping high into the air. With impossible agility, manned mid-air, instantly changing his target, the goblins unleash a volley of fire at where he just was. But our boy is already gone, moving so fast they can barely track him. Rips through the spot he occupied moments ago. His image shatters like glass, just a clever reflection. The goblins just attacked empty air while their real target watches from above. Signature combo, shield plus burning hands. Defense and fiery offense rolled into one devastating package. He moves like a blur, unleashing a flurry of attacks that engulf the goblins in screaming agony. A powerful blast tears through the remaining foes, dealing massive damage in an instant. He lands the decisive final blow, and the battlefield falls silent. Then assistant notification chimes. You have leveled up. Amid the smoldering remains of the fight, the observer expected a drawn-out battle, but Do-hyuk simply cornered those mechanized goblins and obliterated them. He just shrugs, already accepting his overwhelming power. This rank observer has never seen an awakened who can attack, defend, buff, and build drones like this. Suddenly, a massive gate materializes before him. Entrance to the boss's room. Our guy decides to take a cautious look around first. Quiet gasp escapes Do-hyuk as the boss room reveals itself. Massive cannons sit positioned left and right, ready to unleash hellfire. And then he sees that menacing figure standing in the middle. Echoes as an armored figure shifts on its throne. The Goblin Lord, the observer, speculates that red gem on its forehead syncs with those cannons, making them 5 times stronger than normal. This just got real. Realizes his shield and armor won't hold up against that kind of firepower. But he spots a 1-minute window before the cannons fire. He declares that's more than enough time and begins preparing a spell of perfect balance and precision. Channels his energy into a devastating counterattack. He unleashes his signature magic missile, a torrent of concentrated destructive energy. But the Goblin Lord moves with surprising agility, sliding aside to dodge at the last possible second. Lord slides through a barrage of energy beams, narrowly avoiding a fatal blow. It stands tall, completely unfazed by Do-hyuk's assault. Then it activates something on its hands, preparing a terrifying counter-move. Gem on the Goblin Lord's forehead begins glowing ominously. Do-hyuk's eyes widen as he notices a crucial detail. His expression turns deadly serious. He's facing something far more dangerous than he expected. Suddenly, giant cannons burst from the ground, completely surrounding our hero. The Goblin Lord roars a command, "Come out." Then a massive mechanized hand erupts from the earth, grabbing for Do-hyuk. Mechanized goblins rise, their metallic bodies glinting under the dungeon's eerie light. They break through the surface, one after another, creating an army of mechanical nightmares. But our boy just stands there, completely unfazed by the terrible fog that passed. Strikes, Do-hyuk starts taking down the mechanical guardians one by one. He refuses to yield, even when surrounded by impossible odds. The real battle for survival has only just begun. Metal as our guy stands his ground against another mechanical goblin. The impact rings out, but he doesn't flinch for a second. These guardians are relentless, throwing everything they have at him. Yet the pressure only makes our hero's resolve burn hotter. Forward, a blur of pure speed closing the distance to his next target. Arcane energy gathers around his hand as he taps into that raw power. With total focus, he unleashes a magic missile. The explosion hits with a thunderous kaboom, sending the mechanical goblin reeling from our hero's palm, fracturing the ground beneath him. A powerful FW oosh erupts as he channels absolute chaos. The air hums with residual energy, a ZZ zing sounds that fills the battlefield. His attack leaves nothing but destruction in its wake, hunting for a critical weakness. Then comes the powerful slam, bringing his blade down on another foe. Sparks fly as the goblin's defenses shatter. Our man pivots like a whirlwind, and another enemy explodes in a fiery karuna. Balance, lining up a volley of precision projectiles. Every spell flies true, every attack perfectly calculated. Our hero isn't just fighting, he's dominating with surgical efficiency. Flash to life with a blinding burst of light. The enemy is adapting, raising the stakes, but Do-hyuk ignores the new threat and unleashes another magic missile. The projectiles tear through mechanical flesh with rapid valuation. Clearing the field one more time, signals his next charge forward. Our guy is an absolute force of nature, impossible to contain. He delivers a powerful slash, cutting through another foe like butter. Their defenses mean nothing against his might. Huh? Something makes him pause mid-motion. His instincts scream and he dodges just in time. A crushing blow wishes past his head by mere inches. Our hero's razor-sharp agility keeps him breathing in this deadly dance. His hand at the attacking goblin. eyes burning with intensity. Magic missile. Another burst of arcane energy rips through the air. He slides across the ground with fluid grace, never losing balance even under pressure. Guardians crashes down with a heavy thump. A small piece breaks off and rolls away as our hero's assault takes its toll. The air still zings with residual magic. A confident grin spreads across his face. He's loving every second of this fight. Goblins fume with pure rage, their metal bodies glowing red. Energy crackles around them with a menacing zeezing. Their weapons blaze to life, preparing a torrent of fire. A blinding flash signals their counterattack. As the battlefield turns white, fire, unleashing a relentless bang 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 of projectiles. Our hero gets caught in a hail of bullets. Feeling the immense pressure, a powerful wham echoes as his shield takes a direct hit. Then the crack spreads across the surface, until shatter. The shield breaks apart from the surface. Until shatter. The shield breaks apart from the surface. Until shatter. The shield breaks apart from the surface. Chilling thought hits him. Without that armor, he'd already be dead. He quickly glances around, assessing the battlefield. The enemy cannons are almost done charging another devastating round. Time is running out for our boy. Ominous zing of charging energy fills the air again. I don't have much time, he realizes. He dash, moving with incredible speed, expertly evading the mechanized goblins surrounding him. He refused to be cornered. Hissing drones flash to life, signaling a coordinated attack from every angle. Our hero finally sees the true scale of the threat, and he meets it with a confident smirk, completely unfazed. Time to turn the tables. Slam their attacks into the ground, missing him by a hair. But it's just an afterimage. An illusion. Our guy tricks his foes completely as they punch through thin air. He swiftly slips away, already planning his next destiny roam. Leaps high into the air, now bathed in a fierce, fiery aura. His boot lands forcefully on the mechanical structure as he prepares a scorching attack. Then he unleashes it, burning hands. A wave of intense heat washes over the battlefield. Screams, its metal body melting under the assault. Our hero's power is absolutely terrifying. A confident grin spreads across his face, and with his enemies burning around him, one thing becomes clear. He's just getting started. Our boy Do-hyuk stands there watching the mechanized goblin melt under his burning hands, and for a moment, victory feels certain. But just as the pressure peaks and that confident grin spreads across his face, something shifts. A new voice cuts through the chaos. Depression. Someone else has entered the fight, and they radiate pure urgency. A crackling surge of electrical energy buzzes around this mysterious figure as they step forward with purpose. The entire battlefield holds its breath, waiting to see who dares to interfere. And then the reveal hits. It's not only that the Lone Spellcaster themselves, making one hell of a dramatic entry. Patterns in the air, their focused absolute as they prepare something twisted. Whispers of sweet temptation start filling the battlefield. Insidious and alluring, they're not going for brute force. They're going for the mind, a charm person spell. Rips toward the goblin boss, and everyone knows this is a dangerous gamble. The goblin suddenly blushes. Its mechanical eyes transform into glowing hearts, and the impossible just became reality. The spellcaster grins in triumph as the boss's loyalty completely flips. But what happens next shocks everyone. A powerful bang echoes through the dungeon. As the boss's loyalty completely flips, but what happens next shocks everyone. A powerful bang echoes through the dungeon. As the boss's loyalty completely flips, but what happens next shocks everyone. A powerful bang echoes through the dungeon. As the boss's loyalty completely barrage. But not at Do-hyuk. The boss bends its mechanical body into an unnatural position and starts targeting its own allies. Block. The Goblin Lord deflects an incoming attack and protects our hero instead. Another goblin crashes down in the chaotic crossfire, and then a massive green explosion. Another goblin crashes down in the chaotic crossfire, and then a massive green explosion engulfs everything. Master rushes in with concern written all over his face, clearly worried about Do-hyuk's safety. He watches the chaos and can barely believe his eyes. Is that goblin boss actually protecting our guy? The situation is absolutely bizarre, but before anyone can process it, the armored figure takes a massive hit and skids across the ground. The goblin crashes down hard, sparks flying as its parts creak ominously. Its structural integrity is failing fast. This creature is on its last legs. A close-up reveals violent sparks and metallic shudders. And then finally, with one last clunk, the goblin shatters into countless pieces. Its reign of terror is over. Rushes to Do-hyuk immediately, asking if our hero is all right. Our boy lets out a relieved sigh, admitting just how close he came to serious trouble. He confesses he completely underestimated the boss's resilience. His burning hand spell was enough to finish it. A hint of frustration flashes around from the destroyed cannons as the air fills with ozone and burnt metal. And then Do-hyuk sees something strange, a fleeting vision of the Goblin Lord's true, unmechanized form. There's more to this enemy than meets the eye. System notifications flood our hero's vision. You have leveled up flashes before him. Wizard level 20. Raw energy envelops Do-hyuk as he marvels at the massive influx of experience points. Defeating that boss alone just paid off in a huge way. X's spoils of war. The Guildmaster holds his tongue, letting Do-hyuk examine his loot first. Class 2 spellbooks appear before him, granting enhanced strength webfire and the powerful mirror image. And then he finds it. The golem manufacturing blueprints head. In blueprints, Do-hyuk's power is about to skyrocket. He heads straight to the Blue Star Guild's basement training facility, ready to test everything. He confidently requests the dummy's strength and AI level be set to the absolute highest. Our guy isn't afraid of the limits. He wants to prove how anything warns him. At max level, that dummy attacks instantly, leaving no room for error. The Guildmaster walks in, curious about what our hero is planning. He sensed something big was about to happen. And he was right. Do-hyuk has a new proposition in mind. Significant business proposal for the Guildmaster. His tone dead serious. He simply tells the man to watch. Actions speak louder than words. The training dummy locks on, ready to launch an immediate assault. The Guildmaster warns him to be careful. But it's already too late. Villains activate their red eyes, clicking on with menacing intent. And then Do-hyuk speaks a single powerful phrase. "Come forth," he commands, his will absolute. He calls out a name, Akron, and the air vibrates with summoned power. A massive wham echoes through the facility, then a ground shakes a single powerful phrase. "Come forth," he commands, his will absolute. He calls out a name, Akron, and the air vibrates with summoned power, and the air vibrates with summoned power. A massive wham echoes through the facility, settles. A colossal robot glowing with blue energy now stands before our hero. The Guildmaster can only watch in stunned silence. Comes into existence with a ground-shaking tremor. Steam explodes from its metallic body as raw power stabilizes, crackling through the air like a coming storm. And then, Akron stands fully materialized, our hero's ultimate creation and medical creation. Huck just smiles, completely content, while the woman next to him is left speechless. The Guildmaster, still reeling, asks if this incredible golem is for sale. But our boy quickly shuts that down. Akron is his personal weapon, not some commodity. This powerful golem is for sale. A quick test run here before unleashing Akron in a real dungeon. The Guildmaster's eyes widened at the thought. Do-hyuk calls out and the massive golem immediately responds, its internal mechanisms whirring to life. It's ready for action, and glows with intense heat. Activating a devastating spell, the AI golem processes the command instantly, its glowing eyes locking onto the targets. Then the air around it begins to shimmer with raw magical energy. Akron unleashes hell. A devastating burning hand spell erupts from its massive form, flames consuming everything in their path. The training dummy doesn't stand a chance. It's incinerated in an instant, reducing to nothing but ash. Glorious amidst the smoldering remains, a walking testament to pure destruction. She murmurs softly, her expression caught between contemplation and shock. The Guildmaster admits she's never seen an AI golem before, and Do-hyuk just reassures her. No worries, it's a first class. Grace is trying to grasp what this technology really means. This could revolutionize dungeon clearing entirely. He apologizes for being flustered, and Do-hyuk calmly accepts the awe. The man is clearly hooked. The real question, what is Do-hyuk selling if not the golem? Our hero just smiles, ready for the next reveal. He presents the mega bomb first, then the sudden ice bomb. This boy has an entire arsenal of surprises. Effortlessly pulls 2 more bombs from his mysterious spatial inventory, and the Guildmaster immediately notices something's off. Then with a flourish, Do-hyuk unveils his final creation, the vision-stealing bomb. A device designed to plunge enemies into absolute darkness. So that even among the strongest awakened, spatial storage is incredibly rare. The Guildmaster immediately questions Do-hyuk about that pocket of space, but our hero just acts casual, claiming it just came to him. Yeah, nobody believes that. Awakened rarely have this ability. Do-hyuk is clearly an anomaly. Our guy just shrugs, blaming luck. The Guildmaster is not convinced, so Do-hyuk decides showing is better than explaining. Simply states he might be an irregular, fully embracing his unusual nature. Then he orders an aide to open the training room doors. The Guildmaster braces himself because the demonstrations are about to begin. First up, the Mega Bomb. Do-hyuk holds the device aloft as tension fills the room. A man shouts in awe at the blast force, and then alarms start blaring because even the Dimension Stone-coated walls are melting under the immense heat. Bomb's incredible power, watching as reinforced walls start dripping like wax. He suggests pausing to cool things down, but Do-hyuk just calmly reassures them. He's got another trick ready to handle the heat instantly. The sudden ice bomb. Do-hyuk tosses it, and a chilling wave of frost instantly spreads across the scorched walls. The intense heat vanishes, replaced by an icy grip. The Guildmaster watches in disbelief as melting metal rapidly freezes fallen. There's a shiver, acknowledging the terrifying tactical advantage these bombs offer. Do-hyuk explains the ice is temporary, designed to shatter in just 10 seconds. Then he asks the Guildmaster for his thoughts and urges him to see the final bomb. This next one requires precautions. The Guildmaster remarks on Do-hyuk's thorough preparation. This boy thinks of everything. And then, the vision-stealing bomb. The tension is absolutely palpable, instantly engulfing the entire room. The world plunges into disorienting darkness. Do-hyuk steps forward completely unaffected, while the Guildmaster and his aide stumble blindly, their vision completely stolen. He owns it, demonstrating tactical superiority. This bomb could turn any dungeon raid upside down, disorienting enemies and creating perfect openings. For stealth, escape, or overwhelming force, the possibilities are endless. He returns, revealing the Guildmaster's stunned expression. He's completely overwhelmed by Do-hyuk's genius. The man realizes the immense potential these items hold. Our hero just presented an undeniable opportunity. Just as the demonstration ends, urgency fills the air. A frantic guild member bursts into the room, his face etched with pure alarm. "Guildmaster, we have a problem," he shouts. Panic laced through every word. Something just went very wrong. Do-hyuk just handed the Blue Star Group an absolute game-changer. But no sooner does the demonstration end than panic floods the room. A frantic guild member bursts through the door, face pale as death, shouting that something has gone terribly wrong. Master's blood runs cold when he hears the news. Blue Star Group has already locked Do-hyuk into an exclusive contract for those dungeon bombs. Regret crashes over him like a wave. He should have snatched Do-hyuk up at any cost. But now he can only watch his rivals dominate. He forces himself to think long-term, deciding to wait out the 3-year contract. But Chanhwa's voice cuts through his calculations, hinting at something darker beneath the surface. The Guildmaster silences her quickly, knowing something's too dangerous to speak aloud. Violently. Everyone knows who causes tremors like that. The news of an F-rank awakened scoring 150 billion won contract has pushed her over the edge. Whether Do-hyuk will even stay F-rank for 3 more years. His potential grows faster than anyone can track. The Guildmaster senses the shift and demands everyone prepare for immediate action. Straight for the Blue Star Armory, desperate to uncover what comes next. The room crawls with Guildmasters, all of them begging for a piece of Do-hyuk's revolutionary bombs. The demand alone proves how completely this kid has reshaped the game. Our Guildmaster watches the frenzy and feels the grim truth settle in. His guild is already at a severe disadvantage. Lizzie's voice drips with mockery as she asks if he really has time for such small events. Clearly anticipating some juicy drama, 2 years ago, Blue Star and Plum Blossom fought tooth and nail over a dungeon contract at Namyang Station. Back then, Lizzie spread vicious rumors about Blue Star and a then 18-year-old Do-hyuk Baek. From Lizzie's smear campaign never fully healed. The Guildmaster admits spreading rumors is standard guild warfare, but this time, something about it felt different, more personal. But anticipate the confrontation about to explode. Xianhua asks if they should head down, ready for the impending showdown. She feels the cold tension in the air, but our guildmaster just stands there completely unfazed. Tears dripping with overly sweet politeness as she greets him. She feigns regret, claiming she would have greeted him personally if she'd known he was coming. Her words cut like knives wrapped in silk. The guildmaster forces a strained laugh, barely hiding his irritation. Lizzie asks why he'd bother with such a small event, and he fires back that Dohyok's bombs are impossible to ignore. Then she drops the real bombshell, claiming they were just about to come looking for him. Composure offering to show her to his reception room like a proper host. But a deep rumble echoes through the building, powerful enough to shake the walls. On a massive screen, two women unleash devastating magical attacks, their battle sending tremors through the very air. Mrs. wanting absolutely nothing to do with that magical clash, a delivery person interrupts the tension, asking where to drop off new dimension stones. Dohyok barely looks up from his work, telling them to leave the stones. Right now, stones arrival ready for Dohyok to craft more of his deadly bombs. Our boy stays completely focused, relying on others to handle the outside world's chaos. And then, a new figure appears, and everyone freezes. A woman from the auction. She greets Dohyok like an old friend, revealing the guildmaster sent her specifically to find him. Her sudden appearance layers even more intrigue onto an already explosive situation. And races trying to connect the dots of this unexpected encounter. Lizzie's confident smirk falters the moment she recognizes Seongmi Ma. Her eyes sharpened, acknowledging a threat she didn't see coming. Mystery between these two powerful women. Seongmi Ma's presence shatters whatever plans Lizzie had carefully laid. The guildmaster senses an opportunity, a crack in his rival's armor he might just exploit. Unbearable as a silent battle of wills unfolds. Lizzie finally speaks, a single word carrying the weight of reluctant surrender. Okay. She backs down strategically, acknowledging Seongmi's power, without completely giving up her own chest as he watches the tides begin to turn. Seongmi Ma stands there, calm and collected, her presence alone making a powerful statement. No one knows if she's a potential ally or a new rival, and that mystery makes her terrifying, far more precarious, and so does Dohyok's place within it. Seongmi Ma addresses him directly, offering her full support with a respectful but firm tone. Her words confirm what everyone already suspects it, that our boy is the linchpin holding everything together. He acknowledges her, his focus locked on his work like nothing else matters. The guildmaster watches and tastes nothing but bitter regret. He finally sees the full scope of Blue Star's genius. They didn't just secure Dohyok, they locked down powerful allies to protect him. Boy carefully straps on the specialized high-tech battle gear, feeling its weight settle across his shoulders. This isn't just armor, it's the centerpiece of Blue Star's new strategy. Seongmi Ma gives it a final once-over, her sharp eyes catching every detail, defying genius behind it. The suit's durability mirrors their own physical state, shifting from green to red as damage accumulates. When that protection hits zero, the match ends instantly. One fatal blow and it's over. Or when Seongmi Maka shows each suit costs 25 billion won. That's over $21 million wrapped around his body right now. But the guildmaster barely blinks. He considers it a cheap price for keeping a guild member alive. My guy suddenly feels a lot more careful about every single movement he makes. Here to its absolute limits in today's fight, treating this like a live combat test. That's when Dohyok throws down a playful challenge, proposing a bet that immediately cranks up the pressure. If she wins, fine, but if he emerges victorious, she becomes his personal spellcaster. If she wins, but if he emerges victorious, she becomes his personal spellcaster for 3 weeks. If she wins, fine, but if he emerges victorious, she becomes his personal spellcaster for 3 whole months. And the best part of the roarers remained as victorious. Ma grins, calling it fun, but our hero hums thoughtfully, seeing the real opportunity here. He turns to the guildmaster, seeking his blessing for this insane arrangement. Lizzie, his sharp eyes catching something unexpected in Seongmi Ma's casual demeanor. She just thanks Dohyok for his bombs, revealing she had an entertaining time with Lizzie. Whatever happened between them, our boy just nods like that's a totally normal conversation to have. D rank versus F rank, and offers to fight with a disadvantage to make it fair, but Dohyok radiates pure confidence, rejecting any handicap immediately. He didn't come here for an unequal fight. Song Mi-ma is impressed by his resolve, agreeing to hit him with everything she's got. The stage is a fictionist in mind. Through the arena, beginning the final countdown as the tension becomes almost unbearable. Do-hyuk declares he's unleashing his full strength, his expression hardening into pure steel. Unlike their last encounter at the auction, he vows not to hold back a single blow. Then the guildmaster explodes with the battlefield it remains to happen. Song Mi-ma's strategy becomes brutally clear. Close the distance before he can cast anything devastating. Suddenly, a powerful flare of magic rips from her body. Her first skill activating as the air crackles with raw energy. A sharp metallic ching rings out. Her armor reinforces from her body. She's already triggered her provoke skill, and he's walking straight into her trap. Pulled by an invisible leash, Song Mi-ma surges forward like a blur, and our hero can't do anything but brace for what's coming. Steel clashes violently as she rains down blow after relentless blow. Each one pushes him closer to the edge. Then with a brutal thump, her attack lands square and a shockwave of raw energy explodes through his entire body. Ryok staggers back, vision swimming, pain screaming at him that this fight is slipping away fast. To go down that easily. He kills his ironclad defense and flips on rapid wind, his speed spiking by 40% for just 5 desperate seconds. Their weapons crash together again, a furious exchange that pushes both fighters past their limits. Even Song Mi-ma looks surprised, forced back on her heels. For staff disappeared. The moment that she spoke, the fusion crashed together again, a furious exchange that pushes both fighters past their limits. Even Song Mi-ma looks surprised, forced back on her heels for once in another wind, his speed spiking by 40%. A devastating energy slash rips through the air, but something's wrong. A strange sticky substance grabs him mid-motion and our hero freezes. Spiderwebs everywhere strategically placed, he's completely immobilized, humiliating burning in his eyes. As Song Mi-ma charges forward, her attack is unstoppable now, and he realizes through the air. But something's wrong is after strategically burning in his eyes. As everywhere, strategically burning in his eyes. As Song Mi-ma charges forward, for attack is unstoppable now, and he realizes webs during the smoke screen. Every step of this fight was a setup. While his suit might block some damage, her spells cut right through it. But here's the twist. She never wanted to hurt him badly, just to win, and the closer he got. That wasn't his power closing the gap. Poured him in, step by perfect step, and now our hero is trapped, exposed, and completely at her mercy. Over the arrivals terminal far from the arena. New players just touched down, and they're not here for vacation. He steps off the bus with murder on his mind. And right behind him, 3 hardened mercenaries follow close. Their grim purpose hangs in the air like a death sentence. Their boss demands intel on their target, some rascal they're hunting. One of his men gets distracted by the city lights, but a sharp reminder brings him back. This mission pays too well for mistakes. The objective is brutally simple. Find the target, eliminate him fast, then disappear. His subordinates nod, ready to spill blood for cash. They learn their mark is Do-hyuk Park, a well-known name that'll make tracking him easy. Mercenaries can't believe the payout for such a famous target. But money talks and greed silences their doubts. Their impatient leader just wants to finish the job and get out. Deep inside a treacherous dungeon, blue crystals cast an eerie glow through the darkness. 2 monstrous creatures suddenly shriek into the silence, jagged daggers gleaming. But before they can even react, an unseen force slams over, moves like actual lightning, smashing one monster then dashing through the rest. Her blade tears through another creature with devastating precision. She's an absolute blur of destruction. Energy blade ignites in her grip. A blinding flash erupts from her movements. The very air rips apart as she unleashes strike after powerful strike. Crushing blows rain down on her enemies without mercy. A final sweeping attack finishes the last monster standing. Song Mi stands victorious amidst the carnage, her power underwater. Do-hyuk watches her closely, recognizing that incredible speed and strength from their own fight. But Song Mi's mind is somewhere else entirely. She's questioning why someone with her power even needs a support tanker. Nothing more than a glorified pack mule, carrying gear instead of fighting. A fierce determination burns inside her now. She refuses to be useless, and vows to discover her true role. Is her lost in thought, and asks what's going on. She quickly dismisses his concern. admitting she was just surprised by something. But he can see right through her awkwardness. She didn't know a drone could even operate inside a dungeon. He reminds her again to speak casually, sensing her continued formality. She just nods, still struggling to break those old habits. Take her time, and she thanks him quietly. Then he encourages her to be more aggressive, promising his full support. He wants true teamwork, not her trying to accommodate him every second. Acknowledges his words, ready to follow his lead despite her formal tone. But then a heavy thud echoes from deeper in the cave. Another one follows, ominous and growing closer. An unsettling rumble shakes the ground beneath their feet. Dohelk grins and declares they finally reached the dungeon's real challenge. The highlight of their run is about to begin. Explains the trolls are massive and slow but regenerate like crazy. But he warns there are dangerous exceptions to every rule. His plan is simple. She distracts the front line while he works his magic. Forever. But he accepts that limitation. That's when the shadows erupt. Hordes of goblins and trolls pour out, their eyes burning with malevolent red light. Shakes the cavern as the monsters advance. But here's the real problem. When trolls get a goblin shaman backing them up, those buffs turn them into unstoppable warriors. Spikes as the buffed monsters charged forward with terrifying speed. Then a powerful energy blast rips through the air. A massive blow connects with brutal force. Our boy Dohyuk gets slammed hard into the ground, completely caught off guard. Songmi shouts in shock at the sudden appearance of a mysterious robot, but he calmly reveals it's Akron, his personal golem. Tells her to use Akron's support to divert the monsters. Then he drops another bombshell, the power of invisibility itself. With a shimmer, he vanishes completely from sight. A drone and a golem, but a B-rank invisibility spell too. This guy is just full of endless surprises, and Songmi feels how long her own journey ahead really is. Facility marked Safety First. A brutal scene unfolds as a terrified guard confronts the mercenaries. Their ruthless leader just sneers and asks if they need a reason to clear weeds from their path. Coldly tells the guard his only crime was bad luck. Blood splatters across a glass wall, a grim testament to their brutality. They found traces of Dohyuk nearby, and now nothing will stop them from finishing this hit. Benhueted up, plants her feet. She's ready to unleash everything she has against this charging beast. But even as she braces for impact, one desperate question burns in her gaze. Can our boy Dohyuk Park possibly fight through that endless wave of monsters? Waits somewhere on the other side of all that chaos. Reaching them feels completely impossible, yet our protagonist's determination refuses to dim, burning bright against the overwhelming odds. Taps its staff against the ground. A terrifying surge of red energy erupts from the monster. Crackling with dark power, the creature grins wide, its red eyes glowing as the ground begins to rumble. The storm is just seconds away from breaking loose. He explodes forward with a sudden burst of speed and power. The massive enemy snarls and spins, baring its teeth, just as the robed figure unleashes another surge of crimson magic. That formidable attack rips through the air, aiming straight for Dohyuk. Scene takes the hit, and whispers of pain echo through the battlefield. Then a sharp ching rings out as green energy flares around our guy. He answers back with a blinding flash of corrosive magic. His asset arrow tears through the air. The monster's face twists into pure shock, moves forward with terrifying precision. A violent impact splatters across a uniform, leaving a gruesome, wet mess behind. They're realizing this is no ordinary opponent they're dealing with. Surveys the damage with cold satisfaction, green fluid dripping from the ruined enemy. A confident grin spreads across his face. He's just getting started, and he knows it. Our lone spellcaster stands in the middle of chaos, turning the battlefield into his personal state. A swift movement cuts through the air. Songmi doesn't let up for a second. Her blade swooshes with incredible speed, each blow landing with brutal force. The monsters can barely react before another burst of energy sends one of them reeling back in pain. Ash connects, then another precise slice, and the creatures crumble under her relentless assault. She moves like a whirlwind of destruction, showing absolutely no mercy. The monsters never expected this kind of ferocity, and their defenses shattered completely. Something heavy lands nearby with a deep thud. The ground trembles as energy crackles around this new presence. Masked figures lunge forward, weapons aimed at a shielded target, but then a rapid series of sharp impacts. Rings out, and something is getting torn apart. Surprise. A soft hiss echoes as strange energy dissipates into the air. She realizes it's Akron, Do-hyuk's loyal golem acting on its master's orders with perfect obedience. Good job, Akron. But if the construct just saved the day, where does that leave our spellcaster now? Is that monstrous creature right in the face with a brutal, well-placed blow. The impact lands just as that strange energy fades into nothing. Our boy isn't backing down for a second. A group of hired hitmen has no idea what's coming for them. They're actually questioning why such a weak target would have such a massive bounty on his head. Their boss lays out what he thinks is a clever plan. Lure a dangerous troll herd toward Do-hyuk Park, then ambush him while he's distracted. One of them rushes off, completely confident their strategy is superior. Settle into their positions feeling pretty good about their so-called crafty trap. Their boss commands everyone to stay vigilant. Too bad for them, our hero is already several steps ahead. Of their little scheme, that loyal golem dashes forward with terrifying speed and precision. The movement hints at something deeper, something these idiots haven't noticed yet. Do-hyuk's team takes a quick breather, noting that the fact that wasn't unexpected regenerate. They believe their firepower was just barely enough. Off his subordinate's nervous chatter and points toward the approaching monster herd. Their trap is officially in motion. 6 trolls and 9 goblins stampede directly toward Do-hyuk Park's position. His team spots the horde instantly in the auto trick. Actually boasts that this kind of hit is just child's play. Their arrogance completely blinds them to the real danger standing right in front of them. The boss gives the order to finish them off, and the killers move in for the kill. Confidence. Completely unfazed by the approaching threat, he activates his powers and gives a single command. He's about to show them who they're really dealing with. The assassins goes hurtling through the air from an unexpected force. Swift glowing blades cut through the chaos. Do-hyuk Park commands his golem and unleashes a powerful surge of green energy. An infinite grin spreads across his face, a small blade held between his teeth like some kind of predator. These fools thought they were hunting a weakling. Now they face a master strategist, and fear fully grips their hearts as they realize the trap is their own. Single command. Akron, now! The golem unleashes its full might, a whirlwind of destructive energy that completely overwhelms the assassins. Their arrogance turns into pure terror as they scream. They never stood a chance against his true capabilities. The whole time, playing the struggling hunter perfectly. Now his enemies pay the price for underestimating him. Akron's energy whips lash out with blinding speed, tearing through their defenses. They're completely helpless against the golem's relentless assault. Every single strike proves Do-hyuk Park's meticulous planning and Akron's perfect obedience. The assassins are utterly outmatched, their attempts to escape completely futile. The hunter has become the hunted, and they know it. To their boss, but he can only respond with bewildered confusion. Then Do-hyuk's chilling voice cuts through the chaos. He asks them how it feels to be attacked from behind, exactly the way they planned to do to him. Rage, the humiliation boiling over. But Do-hyuk's words cut deeper than any blade, exposing their hypocrisy actually relishes their despair. Turning their own tactics against them with cold satisfaction, they were pawns in his game all along. Finally realizes Do-hyuk Park's power is on a completely different level. He starts wondering if our hero was holding back this entire time. A chilling thought strikes him. Was Do-hyuk aware of their pursuit from the very beginning? And if he knew all along, did he plant this trap intentionally? As he understands the depth of Do-hyuk's foresight, then our hero's voice cuts through the air like a blade. He asks if the boss is just going to stay put over there, a taunt that pierces his carefully constructed facade. Do-hyuk knows exactly where he's hiding. His cover is completely blown. He tries to escape, but it's way too late. A desperate plea for help echoes through the dungeon, but no one is coming to save him. That desperate cry is met with cold silence, a terrifying testament to his isolation. He faces the full wrath of Do-hyuk Park completely alone. His little reign of terror ends, right here. Our hero stands victorious, his enemies defeated and absolutely humiliated. The dungeon that was supposed to be their hunting ground becomes their tomb. This brutal display serves as a warning to anyone who dares to cross him. Then, a masked figure quickly glances to the side, surprise flickering across their controlled posture. They sense something is wrong. How did Do-hyuk Park see through their incognito skills? Then they spot something small, almost invisible, hovering nearby. Hits them. He located us with that drone. Do Hyok's voice echoes one final taunt, telling them they had too much faith in their skills. That tiny drone exposed their every move. They're still understand their fatal error. He used a simple drone to track them, and their advanced skills meant nothing. They were ultimately in the palm of his hand this whole time. Their defeat crushes them, leaving a bitter taste of humiliation. They were just puppets in his grand scheme. Do Hyok Park's genius shines through as a master manipulator who turns their greed against them. He's always 10 steps ahead. Dawns on Shangmi Ma as she witnesses his true power firsthand. She finally understands just how dangerous he really is. Our boy isn't just strong, he's a nightmare wrapped in a calm smile. And no one is safe from his gaze. V in the air. Our boy Do Hyok Park just proved he's a master puppeteer, and everyone else is tangled in his strings. But just as the silence stretches on, a hand taps down on a document. It's a deadly truth. 3 foreign assassins, probably sent by something called the Ant Spirit, are already on the move. She warns our hero that a hidden hand is pulling strings to keep their entire guild in check. The pressure is absolutely mounting. It's the terrifying part. No one has actually seen the Ant Spirit's face. Just a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes and claws that look ready to rip through anything. This is the enemy breathing down their necks. It's her hand, offering him something crucial. Our guy looks at the item, his curiosity flickering behind his calm eyes. She explains that the Ant Spirit isn't just one person. It's a global group of assassins, and they were specifically hired to erase him. Do Hyok accepts her concern, with a quiet thanks, knowing the threats are being real. Cup with a solid thump. The speaker admits it's just a personal opinion, but with their guild stocks exploding thanks to the bomb sales, someone clearly wants to put a leash on both Do Hyok and the Blue Star Guild. Hero's gaze sharpens immediately. His mind isn't just thinking, it's already calculating 3 moves ahead. The game is far from over. A bead of sweat rolls down his face as he questions who exactly is standing in front of him. A mysterious man in a sharp suit and dark sunglasses observes him from a distance. Then the stranger gestures, inviting our boy deeper into the facility. The question is about to begin. Informs him the level up quest will start soon. Just wait in front of the dimension gate. Do Hyok glances at a massive screen looming at the front, wondering what kind of secrets it's hiding. Holds out a small card offering his thanks. These impressive records are already stored in the KMAA database, making them super official. Right on cue, an E-rank level up quest notification flashes on the internet. His mind already churning. He sees a massive opportunity hiding beneath the surface. The scene shifts to the entrance of Deus Tower near Kwangwaman Palace Square. If he pulls this off, he might finally get his hands on a powerful spellbook. Air like a blade. Hey you, looks like it's your first time here, huh? An arrogant challenger named Ukchil Kim mocks our boy's shabby equipment, but Do Hyok just calmly retorts that his gear doesn't matter when he casts spells from a safe distance. Investing our hero's cheap gear is all he can afford. The humiliation is meant to sting, but Do Hyok just smiles. The arrogant jerk even predicts our guy won't make it out of the quest alive. Do Hyok disagrees completely. He doesn't see the point in being wasteful. Chael explodes. He feels completely mocked. The guy aggressively points to his badge, demanding respect. He's from the White Lotus Guild, and he expects our boy to stay in line. Do Hyok remains completely unbothered. He simply says they'll see who performs better, letting his actions do the talking. Ukshale fires back one last insult, calling him a loser who couldn't even join a guild. Our hero just smiles and promises that when the results come out, the truth will hit harder than any insult. Dimension Gate begins to shimmer. Initialization is complete. The official announcement rings out, ordering all awakened to step forward. Our hero steps into the unknown, ready to prove his true worth. Ukshale shouts in pure triumph. That was easy, he boasts internally, reminding himself he's a rookie worth 5 billion won, meticulously trained by the White Lotus Guild. His ego is absolutely massive. How dare that cheap-looking bastard challenge me, he thinks, still seething. He confidently predicts his record will land him in 3rd place on the E-rank board. The onlookers gasp in amazement, showering him with praise. But then a voice cuts through the crowd with a different name. Hyok Park for 150 billion won. Ukchiel's triumphant smile completely falters. Confusion clouds his face as the crowd buzzes with realization. The bomb creator, the Blue Star Guild's golden boy. And, no way, he whispers. His world collapses around him, the bomb creator, the Blue Star Guild's golden boy, outside His Majesty Western despair. Directly in front of the kneeling mess, casting a long shadow, our hero looks down at the shattered Ukcheol and delivers the final, cutting blow. How does it feel to lose to a cheap-looking competitor? The guy's face crumples in absolute humility, seeing Do Hyuk's incredible speed. He hasn't just beaten a record, he's absolutely annihilated it. This triumph guarantees his access to the coveted state-controlled spell library. Ukcheol's guild will be furious, but Do Hyuk's reputation just stayed skyrocketed. This triumph guarantees just stats spotted. The long game, even turning a simple quest into a strategic weapon. He just secured a crucial step toward his ultimate goals while crushing an arrogant rival under his heel. AA will undoubtedly take notice of this unprecedented performance. New doors to power and knowledge are swinging wide open. This stunning victory is merely the first step in Do Hyuk's unstoppable ascent. The White Lotus Guild just felt the sting of public humiliation, and the world is watching. A calculated spellcaster proves once again that raw power means nothing against a master strategist. Guy doesn't have time to celebrate. He's got a direct order ringing in his ears. Clear out every monster and reach the target zone. Monstrous roar shakes the entire dungeon. But for our boy, a master strategist, taking down 100 foes is just another box to check. Rumbles beneath his feet. Energy starts to glow and concentrate around his armored form, building towards something explosive. Ring flames. A powerful blow slams into the enemy and the fire flares out, swallowing the space in front of him. Blinding light explodes from his palm. Another roar tears through the air as he swings again, pressing the attack without mercy. It's massive, but right as he thinks his attack landed, something unexpected happens. A terrifying presence with glowing blue eyes takes shape. A flash erupts, and our hero realizes destroying this thing isn't impossible. Fist down, shaking the dungeon to its core. Do Hyuk dodges just in time, grim determination hardening on his face. A flash. Congratulations flashes across his vision. He just crushed the E-rank level-up quest in 59 minutes and 35 seconds. Back at home, our protagonist reflects. The quest felt easy, but his golem and drones aren't ready for real threats like trolls or ogres yet. Needs to boost his alchemist level first. So he makes the call. Change job from wizard to alchemist. His stats jump dramatically, especially magic and wisdom. Rank update required. Player Do Hyuk Park officially hits E rank, and the system offers him a special spell to add to his arsenal. Massive permanent abilities tied to his jobs. Miraculous alchemy for the alchemist. Duplicate for the mechanic, and increased wisdom for the wizard. Spells outside his job classes. Our boy feels incredibly lucky as these insane skills unlock before him. Already got attack, defense, and summoning magic. But what he needs most right now? He scans the list and finds it immediately. Our hero secures a spell that handles emergencies without relying on any healer. A powerful new feeling solidifies his resolve for revenge. Plans his next move. A new threat stirs in the darkness. A familiar face emerges, and his words send a chill through the air. Hyuk again, and the intensity in his voice carries a dark, bitter history that our protagonist probably isn't ready for. The sense of dread hangs heavy as this individual reveals his true intentions. His gaze promises nothing but trouble and a dangerous confrontation. Drops a bombshell. He accuses someone of trying to kill him. The question hangs there, revealing a shocking attempted murder from the past. The speaker can barely comprehend such a heinous act. This dark secret threatens to unravel everything, pointing to a ruthless enemy hiding in the shadows. And Kong, this new player, is a woman who does whatever it takes to make money. Her mercenary approach makes her unpredictable and terrifying. Temptation precedes her. She will cross any line for profit. Dealing with her requires extreme caution and a very clear understanding of her price. She says, "Send me back empty-handed." Her tone leaves no room for negotiation. This ultimatum puts massive pressure on whoever is listening. Huge cost. Her resolve is absolute, and she will not tolerate any excuses. There is no easy way out of this one. Pushes the narrative forward with brutal urgency. Then she delivers the final blow. "Tell me how much you want." The response comes out desperate. The guy offers to pay any price. fear dripping from every word. The power imbalance is absolutely humiliating. The final nail in the coffin. I really will kill you. The promise hangs in the air and our boy has no idea the storm is coming directly for him. Benhuited Yoai Sheng Town. Narod Jeans layers at the staggering number. 180,901,000,001. That's the price tag for his survival. The notification breaks down every penny and the weight of that demand crushes down on his shoulders. He feels the full gravity of just how trapped he really is. Then, a new notification finally arrives with the info he's been waiting for. Behind the wheel, he casually suggests a trip to pick up a new book. The next objective becomes crystal clear. It's going to be a treasure hunt. A moment to reflect on how simple his dreams used to be. He once believed everything would work out once he became a financial planner. That naive hope stings now, a cruel joke compared to his desperate reality. He realizes just how foolish he was to ever expect a normal, stable future. Suddenly, a sound cuts through the air, an immediate alarm screaming threat. Our hero's senses snap to full alert as he braces for whatever's coming. Is this guy bragging or is something actually hunting them? Shoulders the heavy weight of regret, blaming himself for being powerless in a world crawling with monsters. That self-hatred burns in his chest, fueling a desperate hunger for real strength. He won't stay weak forever. A blinding flash rips open a portal to another dimension, and chaos floods in. Panic erupts everywhere. This is a full monster outbreak. Our hero feels a surge of dread for the helpless civilians caught in the slaughter. Ordinary people don't stand a chance. They'll be killed instantly, the urgency to act. For everyone to evacuate, but our guy spots other awakened nearby and feels a brief glimmer of relief. Then an E-ranked awakened just laugh and tell him to do traffic control. Our man fires back, citing the awakened charter, protect civilians in emergency. They mock him as a wannabe hero, shoving him away. That's when something inside him snaps, and he activates haste. Speed strengthens through his legs. And then, slam. Looks familiar. Wait, where is this? He was just at Isu Station moments ago. Now he's on the ground, pain shooting through his body. He tries to push himself up, but he can't even get to his feet. His massive form fills his entire vision, those menacing red eyes locked right on him. Its presence alone pins him to the cold ground, crushing his spirit. The gaping maw lunges forward, and he screams for help. He can't die here. Not like this. His parents, he still has so much to do for them. But the monster grabs him, lifting him into the air. He's about to be devoured whole. Dear God, this is really the end. A brutal impact rocks the monster, and it howls in pain. Someone just caught our hero mid-air. Are you all right? The voice cuts through the fear and our man looks up, shocked and relieved. His savior locks eyes with him and says, 4 simple words. I'm here to save you. Voice sharp with concern as she checks his wounds. She doesn't waste a single second, beginning a solemn chant that calls on divine power. The healing hymn echoes through the dungeon, and our guy feels his deep gashes, stitching themselves back together. Strength flows back into his body, and he can't hide his profound grasp. The healing hymn echoes through the dungeon, and our guy feels his deep gashes stitching themselves back together. Strength flows back into his body, and he can't hide his profound grasping. It's toward the exit, guiding him to safety and a path back to Isu Station. But then his eyes go wide with pure shock. Terror screams through his veins. He shouts a warning, realizing a new monster is about to ambush his savior from behind. A deafening slam shakes the ground and our hero flinches. Basically, I run into the access room. Lynch, she commands her summoned beast to unleash everything it's got. Akron, that absolute unit of a creature, charges forward with a terrifying roar. The monster grapples fiercely with Akron, their titanic struggle tearing the dungeon apart. A massive kaboom erupts as shockwaves rip through the entire area. Out, commanding him to rise. Our hero urges them to hurry. There are more survivors out there who desperately need saving. This lone spellcaster pushes forward, a beacon of hope on a relentless mission to protect the innocent. Emergency services scream at citizens to evacuate the danger zone. Suddenly, an authoritative figure marches up to the perimeter, demanding attention. The guards block his path, clueless about who they're dealing with. Then the man calmly drops his name, Daeho Choi, deputy head of KMAA's soldiers. Yeah, their faces go pale instantly. He demands to know if the dungeon's been properly assessed. The guards scramble, stammering out excuses and casually mentioning some obnoxious awakened who ran inside earlier. Choi sighs, sensing deep incompetence. He asks what they actually did, while that awakened enters, then reminds them of their sacred duty to rescue civilians. His subordinate cuts in, "No time for lectures," and Choi agrees. They're going in. Now. Reconnaissance drone whirs to life, sensors sweeping the chaos. Its advanced optics lock onto a single energy signature, the last known survivor. The drone dashes through the air, relaying everything back to the approaching KMAA team. Launching a desperate attack against another monstrous foe. Spells tear from his hands, each one a whisper of pain for the creature but agony for himself. He lands hard, his body screaming in protest. A throbbing headache hammers behind his eyes, from the relentless spellcasting, but he steels his resolve. He still gets surrounded. The nearby bushes. A massive, grotesque monster steps forward, eyes locked on our exhausted hero. It advances, each heavy footstep shaking the ground. Its powerful fist lashes out with terrifying speed. But our guy's glowing hands meets the blow. The impact shatters and heads floating. Those which mentioned recently before our guy's glowing hands meets the blow. The impact shatters the ground with a hiss. There. Another kaboom, then the zizzing of a haste spell. The monster gets slammed, stunned for a precious second, but it quickly recovers and unleashes an inescapable trap. Sticky, powerful webs erupt, and Snapped Out takes a menacing step forward, closing in for the kill. Hell's fire, raw magic zinging through the air. A massive fireball erupts in a blinding flash, hurtling toward the trapped monster. Against a backdrop of swirling energy, two new awakens stand ready. The shadow was dry. He points and shouts, "Look over there!" A blinding explosion erupts in the distance, signaling a massive power release. This fight just got a whole lot crazier. The explosion still echoes through the air when a rustle in the bushes puts everyone on high alert. They brace for another attack, adrenaline spiking through their exhausted bodies. It's Akron. Our guy's loyal golem emerges as a massive, welcome sight. It doesn't last long. One of the rescued civilians, still completely disoriented, meekly asks if they've finally reached safety. The fear and exhaustion in his voice tell the whole story. This is why. It's through the tension. Someone spots the KMAA agents and hope finally ignites in the terrified civilians' eyes. They realize these are the very people who got sucked into the Dimension Gate during the outbreak. A wave of relief washes over the entire group. They're finally saved. Written all over his face. He's never heard of any awakened capable of creating an advanced golem like that. Akron, ever loyal, confirms the KMAA's presence and declares his master's name, Do-hyuk Park, and the agents just stare in disbelief. He checks their records, but all they have on Do-hyuk Park is a spellcaster known for making bombs. That profile clearly doesn't match the walking fortress standing right in front of them. The KMAA realizes their database's catastrophe outdated our boy's truth. Kim orders Yunso to evacuate the rescued civilians to safety immediately. Protecting the innocent comes first, no questions asked. But our man isn't done yet. He dashes forward with determination, his eyes scanning the destruction. He needs to understand the full scope of what Do-hyuk Park can do. Washes over him as his eyes lock onto something in the distance. He stumbles upon a massive, scorched crater, undeniable evidence of an absolutely brutal battle. The sheer force displayed here is staggering. He stares at his breath. What is this? Defies the charred remains as a C-rank hell monkfish, a monster notorious for its flame resistance. So how did Do-hyuk manage to incinerate it so completely? He spots some strange substance scattered around the area and wonders if that played a role. The mystery surrounding our hero just keeps getting deeper. Distance and calls out, hoping for more survivors. Do-hyuk calmly replies that he was merely leading the last survivor out. His composure is seriously unsettling given all this chaos. The man introduces him as Daeho Choi, deputy head of the KMAA, sold off as he thinks about it. Lone Spellcaster, a title that barely scratches the surface of his real power. The SS-ranked deputy head gives an interview praising Do-hyuk's actions and declaring he embodies the true duty of an awakened. Fearless in the face of death, our one's fixed. Someone asks if this outbreak was why he's been so busy. Our boy just casually dismisses it as a complete coincidence. He reveals he had other things to take care of, things that took way more time, and here's the real kicker. Do-hyuk Park has secretly leveled up his alchemist class. From 1 to 2, He also acquired a powerful Class 3 spell, Fireball, letting him conjure 4 devastating fireballs to incinerate anything in his path. And then there's Haste, another Class 3 spell that boosts his speed based on his wisdom. Our hero is rapidly becoming an absolute menace. Monkfish, Doyok unlocked something called Truth or Lie trump cards. This magic recall skill lets him detect deception twice a day. He also picked up the Passionate Perfume Bottle, a magic item making him 5 times more desirable. But the real prize, the unique rank Ring of Faith and Light, boosting wisdom fresh. The protagonist decides to strengthen his loyal golem Akron. He's not just powering himself up, he's empowering his allies too. Using Reinforcement Alchemy Level 1, he incorporates a Dimension Stone into Akron's frame. The stone strengthens the golem's armor and increases its magic story, a risky upgrade with serious consequences looming ahead. Slams his reinforced attack home. The impact shakes the entire area with devastating force. The monstrous enemy takes the full brunt of it, unable to resist. Residual energy crackles through the air as dust settles, and everyone holds their breath waiting for the monster's next move. Her shield still held firm and bearing deep marks from the battle. The monster blazes and shifts as his companion warns that its spell is wearing off. Then a blazing step cracks the ground beneath it, and a massive blow slams down with crushing force. The monster radiates such immense power that the very ground shakes beneath it. Lightning crackles from our hero's hand as he desperately considers how to break this cycle of relentless attacks. He compresses the raw energy, feeling it intensify, and a desperate plan begins to form. Of speed and blurs into motion, becoming a phantom the monster can't track. The beast roars in pure frustration, its massive limbs flailing wildly. Our boy uses the opening, circling with precise and deadly movements. The tide of battle slowly starts shifting in his face. Feint builds toward a critical moment. Suddenly, a high-pitched BZZT cuts through the chaos, growing louder and more insistent. Then a sharp hiss pierces the air with an acrid smell. The monster falters, clears the shadow. Shattering thud, the massive monster collapses to the ground. Our hero has done it. The beast is finally defeated. The lone spellcaster Sionmi emerges from the shadows, her drones whirring around to scan for remaining threats. Relief and concern mix on her face. As returning, scolds him, declaring his actions were far too dangerous. But then she admits her true fear. She was just worried he got injured. Our guy dismisses her worries, reminding her he's a tanker and this level of danger is nothing for him. Desperation and lingering fear, then corrects herself to Oppa. Her emotional outburst makes her deep concern crystal clear. He listens with a slight softening in his expression, and thanks her for looking out for him. Meaning he never pushes beyond his limits and the fight was perfectly calculated. She admits she was just scared of losing a good partner and apologizes for the fuss. He promises a safer attack strategy next time, valuing her as a partner while the drones maintain their vigil. But she immediately asks where he's going. He explains the drones found something suspicious, and she insists on coming with him. He firmly refuses, promising to head straight back if it looks dangerous. They won't get any other breaks, and he wants her to recover. While he investigates it, to be careful. He takes a step, then another, moving deeper into the unknown alone. The air grows heavy with unfamiliar energy as he leans in to examine a strange structure. He notes it's unlike anything he ever saw in DNA. The artificial-looking structure, convinced there must be a reason for it being here. Suddenly, a powerful whoosh of energy engulfs him and pulls him off his feet. The world spins violently as he gets rapidly pulled into another dimension. He lands on an unfamiliar, desolate road, completely disoriented. The landscape unfolds around him with an enigmatic, towering structure. He realizes he's on a bridge suspended over a red, foggy abyss. "Where the hell am I?" he shouts, his voice booming back at him. His mind races to comprehend the smile, as if reality itself just changed around him. "No way," he whispers as a chilling realization dawns. Then he notices a figure with distinctive gray, shoulder-length hair approaching him. A long, deep red robe flows around them, and a sense of impossible familiarity washes over him. Maroon staff glows with mysterious blue light. The figure speaks calmly, observing that he's the first person to call them by name upon first meeting. Our boy demands to know how this entity knows his name. He blurts out his disbelief. An NPC from DNA. He clarifies that someone exactly like them exists in a game from his world. The figure responds with an intrigued curiosity about a being just like them. Our hero admits it feels like a dream, unable to grasp how this could be real. Then the figure refused they know about beings who enter through cracks in space and time, from different worlds. Or world visitors? He repeats, his mind reeling from the implications. This is a test arena, the figure explains, set up for people from other worlds to realize their full potential. He quickly asks if others before him also took this test, wanting to understand the scope of the challenge. He describes it as a test that rewards the successful handsomely, but teaches the unsuccessful to be humble about their abilities. Despite the immense stakes, our hero's expression hardens with determination. Yes, he declares, I accept the challenge. The true test begins now. Erupts with death around every corner. Traps snap, gears grind, and walls shift in a nightmare labyrinth. And lurking somewhere in all that chaos, creatures our guy has never seen before. The monster crashes to the ground, defeated. Our hero walks past its smoldering body like it's nothing. The rule is simple: kill the beast or slip past it, then reach the entrance. But the moment he steps forward, the whole world explodes. The dust hasn't even settled when the tension strangles the air. Our protagonist stands in the ruins, his heart hammering and floating above him now. 5 remaining tries. Just 5 shots to get this right. But again, another explosion. Another failure. The count drops to 4. Our boy refuses to stay down, but the arena is chewing through his chances. Like they're nothing. A deafening crack splits the sky. Something massive roars from the shadows. Then a monstrous maw opens wide, threatening to swallow everything whole. His remaining tries bleed away. 3, 2, 1. Energy fizzling around him. This test just forced him to feel what it's like being eaten alive. Is this even passable? He admits the traps and monsters on the way to the tower are manageable. But the Black Lion? That thing exists, on a completely different level. With his current power, he can't take it out. Cuts through his despair. Visitor from another world, don't be afraid of new challenges. Our hero presses for answers, but the figure refuses to explain more. New challenges, something clicks behind. Do-hyuk's eyes. The front path looks identical to every failed attempt before. Cliffs of death loom on both sides, ready to swallow any misstep. Then an insane thought hits him. What about the back? What's a wall doing there? Behind the starting line should be more cliffs, not solid stone. A slow grin spreads across our man's face. He wanted to think outside the box just like this. And with that, fire burning in his chest. Let's do this. Hesitate. Our hero dashes back toward that wall, not forward. Magic surges through his veins as he casts haste, strengthening his speed to its absolute limit. Behind him, but he's already gone. He crashes straight into the vast unknown, leaving the obvious path in ruins. A question mark hangs in the air. Where is he going? Do-hyuk sprints forward, certain the mysterious old man hasn't spotted him in this other dimension. But there he stands, silent, watching the road like he knew our boy would come this way, all along. A massive, dark lion with glowing red eyes blocks the new path. It rises up, muscles coiling. Our protagonist dashes forward anyway, praying he can get through this. The beast just growls low, ups from his hand. Energy zings through the air as death explodes in a dazzling array of colors. But the creature doesn't flinch. It unleashes a powerful, shattering blow right back at him. The test master steps forward, congratulating our hero for passing. He praises that insane, unique approach and gestures for Do-hyuk to reach out. To touch what? To claim what reward? Our boy just broke the arena's rules. And now, he jumps out from its height, stares down at his hand, completely stunned. This ring right here, it's his very first legend-grade item. After all the chaos and pressure, that reality finally sinks in. Just grins. He realizes they never actually had a proper chat. Our guy was way too focused on acing the test to even introduce himself. So the elder asks for the young spellcaster's name. Without any hesitation, our boy answers loud and clear. He is Do-hyuk Park. That's when the old man decides to show him something real. A spell rips from his fingertips. Magic missile, but nothing like the basic version our hero knows. The power behind it makes the air itself shudder. Do-hyuk stands before the Blue Star Tower. Whatever happened in that exam room is already pushing him toward the next challenge. And knowing the weight of that legend ring on his finger, he's not walking into this one unprepared. Keeps building, and our boy feels it pressing down from all sides. This world still hides countless unidentified artifacts, each one holding untold potential. But no one expected any rush of trust. It finally becomes unbearable. Standing there in his dark jacket, the blue lines glowing beneath it betray the power he's holding back. The Guildmaster has seen talented awakened rise and fall for years. But even this seasoned veteran admits he's never witnessed abilities like Do Hyuk's. The question directly. He wants to know what our guy thinks about the proposal. Do Hyuk pauses, letting the weight of the offer sink in. He needs a second to process just how massive this decision really is. It's him. This identification scroll isn't just valuable, it's irreplaceable, a complete game changer that only Do Hyuk can manufacture. No one else in the world possesses this skill. Pushes further, demanding to know how many scrolls our hero can crank out in a day. Do Hyuk doesn't hesitate. He confidently states his limit. 120 scrolls, not one more. Exclusive agreement, and Do Hyuk sets his price at 20 million won minimum. He plans to ride the market demand higher. The Guildmaster counters with a 10% profit share, handling all sales and distribution. Our guy agrees instantly. Those terms feel more than fair for a product. This Guildmaster counters becomes exclusive agreement, and Do Hyuk sets his price at 20 million won minimum. He plans to ride the market demand higher. The Guildmaster counters becomes exclusive. Those terms feel more than fair for a product this groundbreaking. Guildmaster warns him. The scroll won't just change things. It'll trigger massive social chaos. Do Hyuk just smirks, admitting he's equally curious to watch the world burn. This absolute menace wants to see what happens. The identification scroll completely reshapes everything. Awakened across the board watch their items level up, boosting their abilities overnight. Suddenly, everyone sees these scrolls as lottery tickets to insane power. The market price shoots into the stratosphere. Sits at her desk, eyes locked on the market data. She hums thoughtfully, already strategizing her next move. She confirms with Daeho that the scroll has been on the market for 5 days now. 20 million to 33 million won in less than a week. She can't hide her shock at this unprecedented market shift. Things are moving faster than anyone anticipated. Marvels at how quickly an awakened status can transform overnight. But then her expression hardens. She warns that international powers will react the moment Do Hyuk's identity leaks. They need to move now. Of intelligence. Yunso has a personal connection to Do Hyuk. Her thoughts confirm themselves. Just as she expected, she immediately orders Daeho to contact Yunso and arrange a meeting. He's calmly reflecting on his successful strategy. His influence over other awakened grows exactly as planned, but local development feels too slow. He craves faster growth. That's why he needs to step onto the global stage. His master plan involves using the scroll to forge ties with the KMAA. Do greets him, asking if he's been waiting long. Our guy keeps his cool, assuring her he just arrived. He muses that the KMAA would reach out first, not the other way around. Then she leads him inside the Seoul office, handling constant reports and emergencies around the clock. She gestures for him to follow deeper into the building. Then Yunso announces their arrival and leads Do-hyo through the door. Before him is Jung-mi Cho, the head of the KMAA Seoul office. Her professional attire can't hide the raw authority radiating off her. She introduces herself formally, and Do-hyuk realizes he's facing Korea's top SS rank. Awakening, the pressure hits him, like a sort of death panel. The small talk and gets straight to business. Our guy agrees, but then she starts listing his abilities. Attacking, defending, buffing, manufacturing golems and scrolls. Unlike other awakened who specializes every talent imagined. He wonders if the KMAA is about to pressure him into a forced agreement. He internally resolves to resist, even though he wants their connection. This could go south fast. But then Jung-mi Cho completely blindsides him. The KMAA will fully support and finance his dungeon strategies. No strings attached. Do-hyuk is utterly stunned, caught completely off guard. He demands to know why the state is offering helps instead of pressure. Protect rising stars from foreign influence and maintain order among awakened. They aren't looking for a return on investment, just national stability. And with that, our hero accepts the agency's support. But the real question is, what exactly are they expecting in return? Just accepts the KMAA's support. And honestly, he has no idea what he's signing up for. Before Jang Mi Cho can even finish thanking him, the ground explodes with a violent tremor. A deep, ominous rumble echoes through the city, growing louder by the second end. The entire district as the city's foundations shake like they're about to collapse. This is no ordinary earthquake, folks. Our hero's heightened senses scream danger, his body instinctively bracing for whatever nightmare is coming next. Ups in the distance, painting the terrified sky in stark white. Everyone turns just in time to see the source of that glow, and their blood runs cold. A massive explosion rips through the district, the shockwave rattling their very bones. Leaves behind a devastating crater, proof that something catastrophic just went down. Alarms blare across the city, confirming everyone's worst fear. A full-blown outbreak is underway. Countless innocent lives hang in the balance right now. Spread like wildfire, a name that makes even awakened warriors tremble. 5 years ago, Gangwon province had 40 low-ranked sites and minimal casualties. But this time, 78 sites are active, and our guide Do-Helk wonders if he's really ready to fight along SS ranks. Agent reassures him they can recruit any awakened based on immediate need, no questions asked. Jang Mi-cho locates an outbreak site and decides to tackle it with Do-Hyuk first, sending the others to the main force. Our hero clutches his arm, breathing heavy, already feeling the strain of what's coming. Flint catches his eye as something new emerges from the shadows. A massive hulking robot stomps forward, its heavy footsteps shaking the ground beneath them. It slides into position with eerie grace, mechanical arms extending, ready to crush anything in its path. A flash of light erupts from its core, targeting our hero with deadly precision. The robot lets out a piercing screech, its attack barely missing Do-Hyuk. But before he can even react, powerful mechanical hands grabbed him and pinned him down, with brutal black shut around him, squeezing with immense crushing pressure. The robot's red eyes glow, almost like it's surprised our boy is still breathing. Sparks fly as Do-Hyuk's raw power surges against the unyielding hold. Deep within his body, his unique abilities screaming to activate. Then, with a powerful surge, his hands ignite, unleashing a fiery explosion that shatters the robot's grip completely. A freed civilian cries out in profound relief, thanking our hero for saving them. Agent unleashes a blinding flash of raw energy, a concentrated beam that blasts a robotic enemy into shattered pieces. Nearby, an agent wielding a sharp blade slashes through a mechanical foe with incredible blurring speed. These guys do not mess around, as they systematically dismantle the robotic threats, showing off coordinated, overwhelming power. But then, a terrifying mantis-like monster with glowing red eyes appears, glaring with pure predator intent. The insect-like armored figure darts forward to the battlefield. Cuts through the comms, confirming the monster's exact location, desperately trying to slow the creature down. But the monster just shrugs it off, its armored body crunching through debris as it charges forward relentlessly. Area as even more relentless enemies join the fight. A powerful energy blast sizzles through the air, narrowly missing the monstrous threat. Amidst the chaos, an armored Kamehameha figure secures a terrified civilian, while our hero Do-Hyuk prepares for his next move. Agent confirms the immediate target is neutralized and the civilian is safe. He's always amazed by Do-Hyuk's golem, and honestly same, but then another massive explosion erupts, signaling even more enemies closing in fast. Jang-mi confirms no life signs remain in that sector, and directs them to follow the drone and move out. She warns Daeho not to smash any more buildings, playfully threatening to review the drone footage later. And then, a sword-wielding figure stands amidst the wreckage, surrounded by ominous purple energy, reflecting the intense raw power he wields without breaking a sweat. Suddenly, small, agile creatures scamper into view, new unsettling threats emerging from the shadows. Another agent reports multiple life signs inside of nearby building, and Jang-mi quickly acknowledges the threat, tapping her comms to coordinate her next move. A powerful impact rings out as a formidable new enemy clashes violently with an agent. The enemy lets out a surprised, pained screech, completely caught off guard by the Kamehameha's overwhelming strength. The ground trembles again, hinting at an even greater, more sinister threat lurking nearby. Just then, a new character with striking white hair and piercing red eyes is dramatically revealed, his presence demanding attention. He draws his weapon with a sharp ching, ready to join the escalating fight. Dispatching multiple enemies with brutal efficiency. Suddenly, a terrifying swarm of spider-like creatures rushes forward, their legs scuttling with terrifying speed. They move in a blur, sharp limbs which leaken through the air, with with malicious intent. Hale taps into his immense power, preparing for the incoming relentless horde. A sizzling sound emanates from his hands as energy builds, ready to explode. He's not backing down. And then, silence. The calm before the storm. Our boy stands ready, but one question hangs in the air. What comes next? We're about to find out. Stands face to face with absolute madness. A swarm of those spider-like horrors just came rushing in, all legs and death, but instead of panicking, he looks around and mutters something about rare entertainment. Yeah, because nothing says fun like a horde of monsters out for blood. Energy in his hands finally explodes outward. He unleashes a massive blaze right into the colossal creature leading the charge. But this thing doesn't flinch. A brutal energy blast slams back into Dohil, and his opponent makes it clear there's no holding back here. Our hero feels the impact right into the colossal creature. Leaving the charge over, our hero feels the impact rattle through his bones. Someone in the chaos shouts out a name. Babe, look over there. Isn't that Dohui Bake? The crowd around him stirs with recognition. Suddenly, this fight isn't just about survival anymore. Old faces and new threats are all colliding at once. To the side, Nami-Ru lies crumpled on the ground, a dark bruise spreading across her side like poison. Another figure kneels beside her, but there's no comfort in that gesture. One sinister voice whispers exactly what everyone's thinking. It would be great for us if she actually dies like that. Coldness in those words. Feels completely out of reach. A glowing hand presses gently against her injured side. Energy radiates from those fingertips, warm and powerful. Someone is pouring everything they have into saving her. The question is, will it be enough before the real danger closes end? He opens up about his past. He admits he was part of an awakened guild in the UK, but his contract ended, so now he's back in Korea, looking for the next move. They're heading to Site B. A fiery blaze ignites in his palm to prove he means business. He dashes forward, telling everyone to move to another district. His new ally doesn't hesitate and agrees to join right away. He's the enemy closely. He realizes something terrifying. This opponent's abilities and attack speed are on a completely different level from a regular awakened. The gap in power feels like a chasm. Unbearable. A sharp command cuts through the chaos. Everyone watches and waits, and then, a sudden dash forward. The fight explodes back into motion before anyone can breathe. Just then, a familiar face steps into the scene. It's Taepeng Shin, the guy our hero saved during the outbreak. He nervously thanks our boy for having him over. Take a seat. Taepeng is practically vibrating with excitement. Admitting it puts him at ease too. No need. Taepeng notices the strange books on the shelf. Books from other worlds. Our man admits he's been diving into other world languages lately. He wants Taepeng to handle more than just finances. Research. Find necessary tools and books in advance. In return, he'll cover the officer up. Taepeng asks if that makes him basically an assistant. Priority. Collecting other world language books. From all around the globe, he asks what Taepeng thinks. The answer comes instantly. This sounds incredible. When can he start? Our guy thanks him for accepting. Then he hands over a credit card with a 1 billion won Landover. He's leaving. Taepeng is caught off guard. Already, our hero has another appointment right after. Good luck. But Taepeng grins and promises his boss can trust him. He quietly hopes our guy finds some useful spells out there. Yuhui throws up a shield and deflects another crushing blow. Seungmi gets a shout-out for being a pretty good tanker. The force behind her attacks is incredible, but then a massive impact slams into the shield and sends her sliding backwards. Yuhui and Seungmi are both already here, waiting. Someone steps through and acknowledges they showed up early. Whatever comes next, it's starting right now. But then someone tells him to let loose. Trust them, they say, and attack like there's no tomorrow. The tension refuses to break, stretching that single uneasy second into what feels like an hour. Then the other side casually asks if they should head to the dungeon to get better acquainted. Our guy just shrugs and says, okay, great. That strange invitation hangs in the air. The whole mood twists. Something darker shifts beneath the surface, and the scene starts reshaping itself into something far more ominous. Before anyone can blink, this place becomes the temple of decadence. It's just how deep this rabbit hole goes. The DNF world isn't just some side mechanic, it's completely embedded in the awakened system itself. Layers of power and corruption start clicking into place. and our man feels the weight of something much bigger breathing down. It's not a critical flaw. That ice storm spell he's been counting on. It doesn't cover nearly a wide enough radius. The cold realization hits him mid-thought, and suddenly all his careful planning starts cracking at the edges. Whatever comes next, our spellcaster just lost his best escape. Our foe lies defeated on the ground, a testament to Do-hyuk's growing power. As he strides past, a triumphant system message echoes in his mind, congratulating him on completing the D-rank level-up quest. In a flash of light, he ascends to D rank, and a new spell materializes before him, promising even greater potential. The thrill of victory surges through him, igniting a fire of determination for what lies ahead. It's on his earlier decision to acquire a healing spell, recognizing its vital role in battle. With newfound resolve, he casts the spell, declaring his intent to embrace teamwork more than ever before. His ally stands ready, bracing herself for the support he is about to unleash. The wide support spell flash before him, hinting at the strategic advantages it will bring. He opts to apply a powerful buff, activating the system interface with a beep. A notification chimes in announcing that the special spell, Wide Support, has been successfully acquired. Excitement courses through him as he realizes the impact the spell will have on their future encounters. The stakes are rising, and he can feel the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. Caster looms large, a reminder of his journey and the challenges ahead. Just then, a voice breaks through his thoughts asking if he is gathering a new crew. The question hangs in the air, charged with possibility as he contemplates the implications of expanding his team. The tension builds and he knows that it is about attacking Burge. To a halt nearby, pulling his attention. A voice calls out his name, "Hello, Duhyo Park." Confusion and curiosity swirl within him as he wonders why such a prestigious guild would want to see him. The stakes have touched. "Want to see me," he muses, his mind racing with questions. The air thickens with anticipation as he awaits their response. Just then, the invitation to talk inside the car breaks the silence, and he finds himself weighing the risks of this unexpected meeting. The tension holds, and he knows this could lead to a pivotal moment in his journey. Conversation unfolds. He hears, "Yes, there's a lot of talented awakened, but there's only a handful that are," as the words trail off, leaving him hanging on the edge of uncertainty. He senses the weight of their intentions, and the urgency of the moment pushes him to consider. His next steps carries out the engines. Of his home, the atmosphere grows charged with pressure. The mention of his stock market value sends a jolt through him, hinting at the machinations of their interest. A feeling of inevitability settles over him, and he braces for the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that this is just the beginning of a much larger game. For just one heartbeat, two unexpected figures step into his path, and the silence before anyone speaks makes his stomach drop. Then the man just walks away, and the women turn to leave without another word. No explanation, no fight, just pure humiliating dismissal. Tension crackles between the two women as they lock eyes. Neither one blinks, neither one backs down. The air itself feels like it might snap, like a hammer. Supply manufactured goods to the Blue Star Guild. Our boy holds his breath for a second, knowing he has to explain this mess to Songmi and Yuhui. He checks the recently collected books from the other world. Instead of answering them, "Welcome to America." Just like that, the scope of this whole operation explodes across the ocean. Lingers in his voice when he says it again. After all, they might be able to speak with them one day. Not just fight, not just trade, actually talk. Thing that changes everything. They met a civilized being inside a dungeon, a creature that spoke the language of the other world like it was born to it. The tension spikes because right after that, he admits his own limit. He has this high-ranking power of the other world like it was born to it. On a nuke he can barely aim. A single high-ranking trick up his sleeve, but no fireball, no shield, no backup spell to save his skin. That confession hangs in the air like a ticking clock. A quick glance shows they're all unique ranking items. Every single one, not rare, not epic, unique. The kind of gear that makes guilds go to war. The kind of power that gets people killed. And now it's all sitting right in front of him. Tapping against our hero's glowing armored leg. The air grows heavy, thick with something waiting to snap. And then crimson circles flare to life all around the group, humming with dreadful power. But nothing happens, not yet. The tension just keeps winding tighter, and our boy knows that pressure only keeps going on. The tension just keeps winding tighter, and our boy knows that pressure only keeps building into snap. and then crimson circles flare to life all around the group, humming with dreadful power. But nothing happens. Not yet. The tension just feels why she's so feared, and our protagonist feels that gap in power like a physical weight. She's leagues above anything he's faced. Plus, our guy is still just a D rank, stuck in the middle of giants. But the woman just smirks and says, "All right then," like she's already decided how this ends. Boom rips through the air, and our man doesn't even flinch. Now everyone understands why he cares so little about teamwork. He calls out "Dimension Door," and blue energy explodes around him with a sharp whoosh. With one decisive step, he walks straight into that shimmering portal, making a distinction to ourselves. Erupts right where the group was standing. Our protagonist just used a cross-dimensional skill that leaves even the S-rank woman completely stunned. She can't believe her eyes. And through all of this, our boy is still just a D rank, pulling off moves that shouldn't even be possible for someone like him. He snaps into focus inside his head with cold precision. First, eliminate every annoying debuffing agent that could slow him down. Then, cast the invisibility spell and slip right through the danger zone like a ghost. The others don't even realize he's already 3 steps ahead of them. The shadows, a new thought creeps into his mind. If the thing he suspects is waiting for him actually shows up, this fight is going to be brutal even with their current strength. The confidence from moments ago starts to feel a lot heavier now. It's the real threat. Arcanes, the Prince of Darkness. Our guy has never seen a monster with this kind of aura before, and this one feels different. This one feels like it might actually be looking back at him. Suddenly, a brutal force slams into the area, shattering every bit of uneasy calm that remained. The shockwave tears through the air and our hero's eyes go wide. Whatever just hit them, it's only the beginning. And it's coming straight for our boy next. It's heavier as the pressure spikes around our hero. A quick command rings out, forcing the team to lock in and regroup. They realize there's no room for mistakes now. They have to move as one single unit or get crushed. Everything just freezes. That hesitation makes the next moment land like a hammer, because he already knows it's impossible to cut through. So instead of swinging wildly, our boy pulls back and prepares something far worse. Dimension Door rips open right in front of him. A shout cuts through the chaos, ordering Lincoln to draw Arcane's attention. Just buy them a second. Any second. But our protagonist feels his stomach drop. Damn it, he didn't expect the boss monster to have a higher wisdom stat than him. Elation stings worse than any blade, but right on cue the tide shifts. Dispel magic rips through the air and lands clean. The soul-splitting debuff shatters like glass. Our man just bought himself a fighting chance, but against a foe this smart, one clean move isn't nearly enough. Protagonist doesn't hesitate for a second. He throws everything he has into a massive wide-area attack. A blinding flash erupts from the symbol, and a searing red light explodes outward, bathing the battlefield in crimson. Believe his luck. He was just about to chug a fortifying potion, but this is so much better. That massive boost is Dohyok's buff too. Yeah, this changes everything. Mission is short-lived. One of them quickly points out that Arcane's is a monster in close combat, but magic is his one weakness. And right on cue, their boy unleashes a devastating flurry of blows. Swing after swing crashes into the enemy. With brutal forces, changes. A blinding flash of light tears through the chaos. A vicious stab lands true, and just as Arcane tries to recover, a confinement of light detonates with a thunderous kaboom. The shockwave rumbles through the ground, shaking everyone to their core. A single command cuts through the smoke. Now, the opening is barely there, but it's all they need. The real assault is about to begin. Flash tears through the air without warning. Our protagonist feels the pressure spike to an almost unbearable degree. The world just goes white as raw energy erupts all around him. The armored figure lets out a long, weary sigh. He genuinely can't understand how this guy keeps standing after everything thrown at him. Our boy doesn't have an answer either. He just admits he has no clue what's keeping him on his feet. Changes the approach completely. Instead of fighting, he makes a request. A hand reaches out, offering a simple necklace and a ring. The armored figure sighs again, practically begging for some kind of salvation, and our hero takes the offering. Chime rings through the silence. A notification pops up right in front of his eyes. Player Dohyok Park has reached level 31, and in that single moment, our guy realizes the tide might finally be turning. Close-range weapon without messing with his spells still hangs in the air. Our guy feels that pressure refusing to let up. Then the scene opens in Deus Market, Gongdam, and the auction house hums. With restless energy, everything just pauses. The main auction is finally over, but that silence makes what comes next feel even heavier. Then, the tension snaps and everyone leans in. The announcer kicks off a special auction and introduces the host. The crowd immediately buzzes with surprise and wild speculation. Everyone's asking the same question. What could Do-hyuk Park possibly be selling? Then a voice cuts through the noise, introducing himself as Do-hyuk Park on his second visit here. He doesn't waste a single word. He announces he's here to auction off a skill, and absolutely ripples through the audience. Whispers to his master, "Can an awakened skill even be sold?" She answers with cold certainty. If the market allows the auction, then that ability has real value. A man with a microphone stretches out his hand and makes an offer. He'll upgrade any weapon by 1 full level. The room feels the sheer audacity of it. Then the tone shifts. One of them says it plainly. "Oh, please. You called us here, you called us secretly to talk about him, right?" And the reply comes back just as sharp. "Do-hyuk Park. That's right. His bombs, identifies scrolls, even upgrades weapons. At this rate, they realize they'll all fall under his control. So they make the dark decision. They have to take him down before that happens. By the minute, truce. They have a common enemy now. But the question hangs there. Is the target Do-hyuk Park or the Blue Star Guild? The answer comes back colder than ice. Both. They're one and the same now. And then, he must be eliminated. Crackles and pulses right in front of our hero. For one heart-stopping second, everything just hangs in the balance, and then that pause hits even harder when a familiar voice cuts through the tension. Our protagonist feels the weight of failure creeping back in as an ominous creak echoes around them. Out like a blade ready to fall. Nobody breathes, nobody moves. The same unbearable tension keeps building, coiling tighter and tighter and tighter, until something has to give. And she says it. Jongmi Cho. Right there in the middle of all this chaos, our boy watches her smirk like they're old friends catching up instead of enemies. On a battlefield, she offers a casual greeting, acting like this is just another reunion. Pleasantries without wasting a second. Green energy erupts with a deafening whoosh, filling the space with raw power. The woman explains their original plan was a nice, controlled KMAA dungeon. But something clearly went wrong. Beneath their feet as they explore deeper into the dungeon. Our hero feels the ground hum with something unnatural. He asks if there were problems during the process, already knowing the answer in his gut. And, sharper this time, if a monster inside caused 2 SS ranks to fail, what chance does anyone else have? That question hangs in the air like a death sentence. Is the monster inside that difficult to deal with? If SS ranks like yourselves couldn't handle it, then there's literally no one else to carry out the attack. Our guy realizes he's being cornered in something massive. Holds for another uneasy beat. Nobody speaks. Nobody blinks. The same unbearable pressure just keeps building as everyone waits for the other shoe to drop. They need someone with diverse abilities like him, Do-hyuk. Our hero feels the trap snap shut around him. That's when the real weight of the request starts sinking in. As he processes what they're actually asking, the tension spikes again, sharper and more dangerous. Everyone holds their breath waiting for his response. Wait, that's asking too much. Our boy realizes they want him to walk into a death trap. The silence that follows screams louder than any words ever could. Spikes again, shifting into something even more dangerous. They're not just asking, they're demanding something first. Our hero feels the manipulation creeping in from all sides. A moment longer than comfortable, and then she lays down the real terms. He has to agree to something first before they even continue this conversation. The tension spikes again, sharper than broken glass. Whatever comes next is going to change everything. Our boy braces himself for the real catch. Comes. If he's slow even for a little bit, a cloud of toxic gas will overwhelm him completely. One mistake, one hesitation. That's all it takes to die in this place. Tension spikes for the 100th time, but this one feels different. This one feels like a promise. Our hero realizes they're not warning him. They're threatening him. Projectiles rain down from every direction, forcing him to move. Our boy dives, rolls, and scrambles for cover as death whistles past his ears. Gas hisses into the cave, spreading fast and hungry. A voice calls out, warning him about the traps hidden everywhere. But our guy already knows. He can feel the dungeon trying to kill him with every breath. Hard, absorbing a powerful impact that shakes his bones. The cave narrows into a straight tunnel ahead, and then complete darkness. Absolute, suffocating nothingness that swallows everything time as he stares into the void. There's only one source of light somewhere inside. He has to follow it, walking deeper into the cavern's hungry throat. His own judgment. No help. No backup. He activates his infravision, and that's when he sees them, glowing red eyes everywhere. Snake-like creatures coiled and waiting in the shadows. A high-ranking awakened could get taken out easily in this darkness. Our boy feels death breathing down his neck from 100 different directions. Energy crackles around his hands as he prepares his next move. Lightning bolt. Electricity surges through him, lighting up the cave like a thunderstorm. Everything here is tricky and dangerous, but at least his experience level is shooting up like crazy. He can't lower his guard for backup. Let's do this carefully. One wrong step and those glowing eyes will tear him apart. Our hero takes a breath, steadies his hands, and prepares to fight through absolute hell. The darkness is watching and it's hungry. And our guy as he forces himself to focus. He knows he can't lower his guard, not for a second, so he pulls out his drone, ready to handle this carefully. The stakes feel impossibly high, but at least his experience level is climbing fast. Figures chat under a strange green glow. One of them casually dismisses any B-rank Awaken's chances. They clearly believe no one at that level could survive in this place. But then, one of them urges the other to just go ahead. Check the status already. The moment stretches, heavy with unspoken doubt. Two massive mechanical corpses lie broken and twisted. Our protagonist finally stands before the boss room. His mechanic level just jumped to 18. He admits that without his drones, he'd be dead or retreating. So he dashes forward. He grins, ready to meet this dungeon's master face to face. Time to see who's really in charge here. O begins to move. Something stirs in the shadows. Forms in the inky blackness. Then a skeletal figure rises to confront our boy. It demands to know one thing. How did he get his hands on the ornaments of arcanes? Ground rumbles as a massive A-rank boss monster reveals itself. Lich de Luke. Our hero doesn't recognize this one from DNF. He wonders if this ancient lich knows about arcanes. Lich's voice cuts through the air like a blade. It promises to fix that arrogant attitude with eternal pain. Yeah, this thing is not messing around. He doesn't flinch. He's already planning his next move, because charging headfirst at a warlock is just suicide. Which is a powerful sweeping attack, catching the lich off guard. The momentum shifts for just a heartbeat. Shield. He throws up a defense just in time. Keeps coiling tighter and tighter. Neither side blinks. Bump. He launches himself into the air, breaking the lich's line of sight. Monster's gaze follows him, but our boy is already moving, always staying one step ahead. He blitzes across the chamber in a blur of motion to track him, but our protagonist is too fast, too unpredictable. He says it with absolute confidence. Does the lich really think he'll just charge straight at a warlock? Please. This guy has way more tricks than that. Possible angle. Attack strategy. He's already 3 steps ahead of the monster. Powerful flash of light explodes around our hero. Power surges through him as he prepares to end this. Light fades, and the real fight is about to begin. The lich has no idea what's coming. 2 words that mean this monster is about to learn exactly why you don't underestimate the Lone Spellcaster. Let's see how that eternal pain threat works out for him now. Been waited for a second or 2 day. Energy explodes from our boy's hands, crackling like a storm barely contained. For one brief second, everything just hangs in the air. The tension from that pause makes the next question hit twice as hard. Who is she, and what really went down inside that dungeon? Out a breath of pure relief and admits he nearly died back there. Someone calls his name in surprise. Shocked he's still standing. Explains they cleared the dungeon and promises to share the full attack strategy. She admits they never thought he could take down an A-rank boss monster alone. And honestly, it's incredibly impressive. Yeah, he had a tough time, he admits. The actual fight only lasted 5 minutes, but in that short window he had to throw everything he had at the beast. Fire erupts around him. A powerful blaze ignites, followed by an intense blue flame that cranks the heat to another level entirely. Blur, leaving a trail of fire in his wake. Blue energy streaks behind him as he repositions, never staying still for even a heartbeat. Fire rips through the space with devastating force. A shockwave of blue energy follows right after, doubling the destruction. Not demanding dungeon spoils, and everyone knows it. But the problem is that woman. If she counts as a spoil, they can't claim her. But if she's a witness, that changes everything. This is the first time a person has ever walked out of a dungeon, and no one knows how to handle it. Protagonist glances at her as she looks down with a slight, unreadable smile. She speaks carefully, clearly hoping no one takes this the wrong way. Some responsibility falls on him since he brought her out, and he wants to keep an eye on her because who knows what the KMAA would do. Plus, she seems connected to arcanes. Her gaze falls in quiet consideration, and then she agrees. Public finds out she exists. Awakened organizations will flood them with requests to examine her. The tension spikes hard before they all agree. Keep her under wraps. If they need her later for research, they'll make a reasonable request. Thanks them for understanding. They wave it off and say they should respect the wishes of the guy who conquered the dungeon for them. One of them says, "Now that you have someone to protect, there's something you should know." Our guy leans in, ready for whatever comes next. Program for persons of interest. Both direct and indirect surveillance. He expected that. Knowing support comes with eyes on him. But then they drop a warning. Someone better than they thought has been tailing him. And those agents fled the moment they were spotted. He wonders about that duo from the other day. Or Seonyol Min again. Well, they warn him. Then one of them adds with almost too much enthusiasm that he can call anytime, even for private matters. Cranks up after that offer. And everyone feels it. The next move feels absolutely inevitable now. Changes immediately. The scene just lingers there for another uneasy, breathless beat. Promise hangs in the room like a blade waiting to drop. Everyone knows something's coming, but no one says it out loud. The room, her expression thoughtful and impossible to read. Whatever just clicked into place inside her head. It's only a matter of time before we find out what happens next. Wide, a sudden sparkle of light catches her attention, and something shifts in the air. Our girl Hayes recognizes it instantly. It's her lost brother's necklace. A wave of raw emotion crashes over her as she whispers, "His name's the pain was fixed." A wave of raw emotion crashes over her as she whispers, "His name's was what she shook his name, the pain was going on." A wave of raw emotion crashes over her as she whispers his name, the pain was going on. The pain was fixed. The battle rushes out and crashes over her as she for the warm mug, steadying herself. For the first time in forever, she actually feels safe, and that safety finally cracks her open. Hayes reveals she's royalty. Once part of the magnificent Desmond Empire, now it's nothing but a fallen memory. And with a sinister dark sorcerer. He twisted Emperor Ian IV's mind with dark magic until the ruler became a tyrant. Massacres became routine. Even loyal servants weren't safe. That internal rot left them wide open, and the ruthless Artenia emptied itself. That internal rot left them wide open, and the ruthless Artenia in the first mind was itself becoming tyrant. Massacres became routine. Even loyal servants weren't safe. That internal rot left them wide open, and the ruthless Artenia warriors, the proud Desmond Empire, crumbled in less than a year. Her brave brother couldn't just stand by. He confronted the mad emperor himself before throwing everything into the desperate battle. But even his heroism couldn't stop Artenia's relentless soldiers. Desperate gamble. He reached for a forbidden spell, a dark secret buried deep beneath the empire. The consequences hit immediately. He unleashed that terrifying power, pushing back the invading army. With brutal force, refused to be controlled. Our hero's brother fought alongside his loyal soldiers inside the capital. And then tragedy. The dark magic consumed every last one of them, twisting them into violent, screaming evil spirits. The transforming was irreversible. Her brother desperately tried to send Hayes far away to safety before the end, but fate had other plans. She got snatched up by Deluxe's sinister servants and thrown into a dark, ominous altar. Completely helpless. And why she was locked in that dungeon. Hayes recalls Deluxe's chilling words right before she blacked out. The bastard admitted his mistake sent him through a dimensional rift. But he planned to return soon, and with a terrible smile, he promised to sacrifice her. When the time was right, confirms it, she got dragged into another world through that rift, straight to our hero. But suddenly, Do-hyuk realizes he forgot something important amidst all the chaos. He calmly introduces himself. Just call him Do-hyuk. From her painful past, Hayes finally gives her name. She acknowledges his heroism, then hesitates. She needs one more favor. Our guy is surprised when she asks him to help her adapt to this strange new world. She needs to uncover the secrets of her brother and her own mysterious arrival. A generous reward waits for him if he helps. Do-hyuk stands on those steps, his expression completely serious. On a pedestal hidden beneath the Desmond Empire, then a figure unleashes a massive surge of purple energy. Her eyes burn with intensity, glowing red and blazing with raw power. The air itself starts to crackle. Energy tears straight through enemy ranks. He cries out as the energy completely engulfs him. Another devastating slash rips through the air. Nothing can stop this onslaught. Tears through everything in its path. A dark horned figure's eyes glow purple, completely enveloped in surging power. Then another devastating blast unleashes. The destruction is absolute. Plays endlessly in her mind. He tried so desperately to save her, and it still wasn't enough. The horrifying image of him transforming into an evil spirit brings fresh grief. She desperately needs answers. Irreversible transformation is etched into her soul. She needs to understand why. Her quest isn't just for her brother anymore. She wants closure for the entire fallen Desmond Empire. Do-hyuk listens intently, observing it. Request. The weight of her past is now resting on his shoulders. The unspoken question hangs heavy in the air. Will he accept this monumental task? Our hero knows this decision will define everything. She's more than a princess. She's a survivor begging for justice. A sense of purpose solidifies inside him. He takes a deep breath, ready to give his answer. This is the moment of truth, a pivotal turning point for both of them. He nods slowly, a silent promise forming between them. His decision is clear. He will stand by her side, no matter what comes. His face lights up with a glimmer of hope she hasn't felt in years. Together, they will face the unknown dangers of this new world. Their alliance is forged, a powerful bond against destiny itself. The quest for truth and revenge has officially begun. Our hero is now fully committed to helping Hayes uncover her brother's secrets. He's going to help her reclaim her past, and nothing will stand in their way.